Be going to hour left in the first half as the first 8 minutes of play are underway. Hokes Bluff in a zone defense, a matchup zone to begin this semifinal round ball game at the Etowah County Tournament. Southside coming off a 48-18 win over Alexandria last Friday. As the three no good for Yancey, and the putback, however, is good for Grace Ann Rose. So Grace Ann Rose, her first field goal, also her first rebound of the ball game, is the last time we saw her as far as the F&N game of the week had 27 against Cherokee County. Three-pointer, no good for Hokes Bluff as Southside wants to push the tempo. Brooks finds Rose, kicks out, open look. Three ball up and too strong for Layla Davis as the offensive rebound, at least momentarily, went to Southside as there's a loose ball in the backcourt and an over and back violation. A bad pass goes into the backcourt that time, as it'll be the first turnover of the ball game for Southside. Hokes Bluff at 2-2 in area play. Class 3A Area 12 is the inbound knocked away out of bounds by Southside. So the Hokes Bluff Lady Eagles will retain control of the basketball. Davenport, Saylor, Doss, Simmons, and Ball on the floor as there's a loose ball and a turnover as the steal goes to Sarah Yancey. Drive for Brooks as she gets stripped of the basketball, but goes right to Grace Ann Rose. Layla Davis will pass it off to Mallory Brooks. Southside slows things down as good passing Davis into Rose, double teamed and gets fouled in the paint. So that's our first foul of this ball game as we've played almost about a minute and a half of the first quarter. So the foul will go on Maisley Ball, her first personal foul. And the first team foul for either team is here's a three off the inbounds pass as off the backboard, no good for Mallory Brooks, in the rebound for Hokes Bluff. The Lady Eagles get that rebound from Addison Simmons as Hokes Bluff walks it up the floor. Man-to-man defense for Southside, a tight man-to-man that'll force a turnover. Steal for Marble in transition, puts it up and in for two.
Yeah, did that against a couple of defenders. James made it look pretty easy.
Yeah, that was a tough look indeed as Grace Ann Rose, by the way, caused the deflection leading to that fast break bucket for Marble.
Hokes Bluff trying to get on the board here.
Southside with the first two field goals of this ball game. As we played a little more than 2 minutes of the opening quarters, there's a steal for Sarah Kate Yancey.
She's got numbers.
Goes in herself, puts it up. That's too strong, and the rebound goes to Hokes Bluff. So good transition D that time as Emma Doss came down with the rebound for Hokes Bluff, and the Lady Eagles will slow it down. Looks as if a bit of a softer man-to-man, almost a zone look now. Kind of a combo defensively for Southside. Hokes Bluff still trying to get on the board as the drive for Ball goes in the paint, puts it up, no, but she'll have a trip to the free throw line for two. First foul of the ball game for Southside, and looks as if it'll be Layla Davis that will be whistled for her first personal foul. So far, Grace Ann Rose with a field goal off an offensive rebound, and then Jovi Marble in transition with the only points so far in this game, as there you see Maisley Ball set to shoot the first and misses off the front rim. Southside comes in, one of the top teams in Class 5A in the state of Alabama, ranked number 3 really for the better part of the last month or so of the season. But Hokes Bluff trying to cut into a 4-0 deficit and trying to get on the board as the free throw up, and that's good for Maisley Ball. So her first point of the ball game is there's a steal for Hokes Bluff. A little bit of full court pressure as the Lady Eagles have it, at least in the offensive end of the floor, as they'll now settle things down. Ball tries to hand off a near steal as Rose, I think, and indeed Grace Ann Rose does touch it last out of bounds.
Southside really aggressive on the man-to-man defense. Getting those hands in there, James, slapping them away. Look here.
Now Marble gets a steal and her second fast break layup as she has 4 and a timeout on the floor, a 30-second timeout. As it'll be Hokes Bluff calling the timeout as a very good defensive start to this ball game for Southside, as they have held Hokes Bluff so far through the first 3 minutes and change, Jim, without a field goal.
You know, and Southside, James, got to be feeling a little bit of pressure in this game because this is the game, of course, last year that knocked them out. They were the top seed in the tournament again last year, still the top seed this year. See if they can manage to get into that championship round. They're off to a good start in tonight's first semifinal.
And obviously with the top seed expectations, at least the prohibitive favorite as far as not only getting it to tomorrow's finals, but also winning the whole Etowah County tournament on the girls' varsity side of things.
Yeah, when you're a top 10 team, you need to compete in the county tournament for a championship.
Well, as you've already pointed out, Jim, the defense for Southside already competing as Marble forces another jump ball, or at least a jump ball in this case, our first one of the game, and the possession arrow stays with Hokes Bluff. So Hokes Bluff trying to figure out the half-court defense from Coach Justin Bowen's Southside Lady Panthers as a deflected pass and a steal and a 3-on-1 coming up as Madison Shaw in the game gets her first field goal on the layup. Madison Shaw on the board, her first two, and the largest lead of the ball game as Hokes Bluff having a hard time trying to go up against a suffocating Southside Lady Panthers defense. 10-second violation on the part of Hokes Bluff, so great full-court defense by Southside as they get the ball back on the turnover.
Yeah, Coach chose not to use the TO there to save the possession, and Southside gets it now here at midcourt right down in front of us.
So it looks as if Layla Davis back into the ball game for Southside on the substitution. Almost halfway through the opening quarter as Brooks tries to penetrate the defense. Now Davis along the baseline finds Rose. Extra pass for the mid-range jumper, good for Madison Shaw. So Madison Shaw coming off the bench is already connected on her first two field goal attempts as it makes it a 10-1 lead for Southside and a steal for Davis. Entry pass that's deflected and still a loose ball as Brooks, I thought, touched it last, but let's see what the officials decide. And yes, it will be off the Southside as Mallory Brooks was on the floor under the basket and touched it last before going out of bounds. So a turnover for Southside, only a couple for them here in the first quarter. Deflected pass by Madison Shaw goes right into the Hokes Bluff bench out of bounds. Hokes Bluff wearing the visiting black tops and bottoms as the designated visiting team, even though they're playing on their home floor. Full court pressure for Southside once again. Hokes Bluff just does get it across the timeline as Davenport advances, picks up her dribble, needs help, and throws it away. Madison Shaw on the steal.
Good step in front there by Shaw.
Layla Davis slows things down and now finds a cutting Brooks for the layup. Mallory Brooks sneaked through the back door and was able to get her first field goal on the layup.
Yeah, we've seen her this year.
And we'll have a whistle, and looks as if a reach-in foul in transition goes on Southside. So it'll be Madison Shaw on the reach-in, trying to get the steal that time. Her first personal foul and just the second for Southside here in the first quarter. Only 3 fouls so far between these two teams as Davenport retrieves the basketball in the backcourt. Still no field goals in this opening quarter for Hokes Bluff. As trying to drive will be Simmons as she gets cut off. Here's a contested three up and good for the far corner for ball.
First good thing that's happened offensively for Hokes Bluff in the basketball game.
Yeah, Layla Davis had a tight contest that time as here's Grace Ann Rose with the bank shot off the glass for two. Grace Ann Rose, her second field goal. Davenport tries to fight the full court pressure for Southside. As Hokes Bluff does cross the timeline.
Oh, she's trapped now. She's in real trouble.
Well, does find Davenport, however, as Hokes Bluff, Simmons dribbles at the corner spot. Now hands off as Presley Wall into the game for the first time for Hokes Bluff.
What you have to like about the Southside defense, James, is the hands. They're just so active.
Here's ball for another three. That chips glass no good, and we'll have a rebound, a foul rather, as it'll stay on the right side of the floor as that's going to go on Southside.
I got a question for you. Is chipped glass the new way of saying brick?
I first heard Chris Stewart call that years ago on the Crimson Tide Sports Network and have loved it ever since. So obviously off the backboard with a no shot of rim or through the hoop, as that's the foul on Madison Shaw, and she already has a couple of personals. 3 team fouls as the pass deflected by Davis and stolen by Davis. Great job on the inbounds that time by Layla Davis to cause the disruption as Southside has the basketball. Leah Lewis into the game for Southside at the last timeout. As here's Davis for 3. Got it.
Yep, bang.
That's her first points of the ball game, as Davis at least got the steal on one end and the 3 that you see on the other end, as the lead extends to 13 for Southside. On the other end, however, the bank shot no for Dixie Saylor, but she's going to go to the free throw line for a couple of shots.
Yeah, she'll get a chance to make a couple at the charity stripe, 15 feet away from the rim, and see if she can pull her Lady Eagles a little closer here against Southside in this ball game. Southside up big, 17-4.
Leah Lewis, her first personal on that foul, as here's the free throw up, and that's going to rim home. And check that, Halen Marbit into the ball game, her first point, as Hokes Bluff 2 of 3 so far as a team from the free throw line. 1 more to come. This is a very young Hokes Bluff team, as there you see Marbit, one of the 2 freshmen on the team, as she makes both free throws. Just 1 senior for head coach Evan Talbot at Hokes Bluff this year. So a very young Lady Eagle squad going up against one of the most experienced teams in Alabama, as the 3 no for Layla Davis. As however, Southside will have a second try off the offensive rebound. The Panthers will slowly work it around. Here's Brooks. She'll try the 3. That's too strong, no good. But the offensive rebound flagged down by Leah Lewis.
Third attempt now this possession.
Here's another 3, this time good for Bailey Houston. So we'll take a second look. A third try for Southside as Houston gets the 3 ball that time. As we'll have a timeout, at least on the floor, as you'll see a wave of substitutions check in for Justin Bowen, Southside Lady Panthers. So the ball went out of bounds.
You know, this is a smart move on Coach Bowen's part there, James. You know, get the subs in, keep your starters fresh. You got a big game coming up tomorrow night.
So a turnover that time for Hokes Bluff prior to the timeout, and there's the 3 ball by Emma Rogers. So she's on the board with her first points of the ball game, and already up to a 17-point cushion for Southside.
Yeah, it's raining 3s for the Lady Panthers.
Southside has led wire to wire so far in the first quarter. There's a loose ball and a steal for Rogers.
And the Panthers have numbers.
Marble in transition, misses the layup, but she's going to the free throw line for a couple. So Southside's been swarming on defense so far, as it appears Addison Simmons will pick up her first personal foul. And indeed, it'll go on Addison Simmons, just the second team foul in the first quarter for Hokes Bluff, as Marble shoots and scores the free throw. Jovi Marble, I should say, with 5. And there you see one of 6 seniors for Southside this year in Jovi Marble. A veteran presence in the guard position for Coach Justin Bowen as Marble sinks both free throws. Full court pressure for Southside as a near loose ball and a jump ball, and Southside will get the ball.
Yeah, on the possession arrow.
Indeed. 17 and a half seconds to go. Round that up to 18 seconds for our purposes. As the inbounds pass has a little bit of TLC to take care of, as the possession arrow at least gave it to Southside, but they forgot to give Southside the ball as far as our trio of officials. No worries, though. They called it well before a Hokes Bluff could bring it up the floor. So there's at least a little bit of officiating homework to be done across the way at the scorer's table. So that should mean once that ball is eventually blown back into play, that possession arrow will flip over and probably likely to give Hokes Bluff the ball to begin the second quarter. So 20 seconds to go, and so far it's been Southside's defense just dominating so far today. Well-balanced scoring all throughout the lineup, with 6 points leading the way for Jovi Marble, and then you have Grace Ann Rose and Madison Shaw each with 4. Inbounds pass goes to Rose. As Southside wants to try and add to their 19-point advantage. As Rose goes in, no. And we're going to have a blocking foul go on Hokes Bluff. Thought that looked like pretty good defense that time by Emma Doss. But apparently she was not in position that time to draw a charge. So it will be Doss, her first personal. Team foul number 3 for Hokes Bluff, as Rose will miss the first free throw. One more to come. Grace Ann Rose, one of the top returning players in Class 5A coming into this year for Southside, as Rose sinks the free throw. So she has 5. 20-point advantage for Southside as we come to the closing seconds of the first quarter, as here's a 3-ball up and no good off the side rim for ball. Rebound goes to Southside. Leah Lewis with the rebound to end the first quarter. All Southside through the first 8 minutes of play, as the Southside Lady Panthers have a 26-6 lead over the Lady Eagles of Hokes Bluff. We'll have second quarter action for you after this timeout on FNN, the Etowah County Basketball Tournament from Hokes Bluff.
Does the crawl space in your home look like this? Standing water and high humidity are the perfect makings for mold and wood rot, and that means expensive damages to your home. Solve the problem with a call to the experts at S&H Waterproofing and Construction. They've been turning this into this for over a quarter century. Protect your greatest investment with a free assessment today. Get quality work at a guaranteed lower price. S&H Waterproofing and Construction.
It's tip-off time, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
run the floor with the Loft Tackle Store.
Get the assist from the team in service.
drive the paint with the parts team.
Shoot the lights out with the sales team.
It's a slam dunk with Bucks Island. Go get them and run them out your gym.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I-AM-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
Second quarter about to begin as Hokes Bluff will inbound the basketball as Davenport walks it across the timeline. It was all Southside in the first 8 minutes of play as their defense just totally dominated the game as they're picking up where they left off defensively as Southside knocks away that entry pass out of bounds from Hokes Bluff.
Yeah, tried to loft it in down there to the post player and just a little too much mustard on it, but a good job by Southside to knock it out.
Marbit inbounds for Hokes Bluff, as that just does get over the hands of Madison Shaw right to Mary Davenport for Hokes Bluff. Just underway in the second quarter as Davenport tries to drive Ken out against Madison Shaw. Here's the kick out. Simmons inside the free throw line has to kick out for Marbit. The three is up, and that's short, no good, and the rebound goes to Hannah Westcott, who checked in to start this second quarter.
Good set that time for Hokes Bluff, James. It just didn't fall.
Layla Davis thought about the three instead. Wisely passes to Shaw, who misses the three herself, and the rebound goes to Halen Marbit. One of a couple of eighth graders for Hokes Bluff this season. In fact, they have a seventh grader, a couple of eighth graders, and two freshmen as part of their 10-player roster. Hokes Bluff with the basketballs. Here's the drive, and the off-balance shot no good, but a trip to the free throw line coming up for the Lady Eagles. That was one of the best half-court sets we've seen so far in this first half, as the drive that time by Emma Doss, and that'll be Hannah Westcott whistled for her first personal foul, and the team's first for Southside here in the second quarter. Emma Doss, just a sophomore, but 6'3" is the free throw up, and that rims home. So Emma Doss, her first point.
You know, to be so young, James, Hokes Bluff's got a lot of size.
They sure do. And a very young team, but certainly a lot of promise, you think, for them over the next couple of years. Several substitutions for Southside as Doss makes both free throws. So Hokes Bluff's actually shot it well from the line so far. 5 out of 6 so far in the first half from the charity stripe. Less than 7 minutes to go until halftime. And it's been a comfortable Southside cushion for most of this first half. Marble finds Rose. Good pass for the three ball up and good from the far corner for Bailey Houston.
Just really good ball movement right there. Watch this. Inside pass right back out onto the wing. Bang.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you couldn't draw up better ball movement and better half-court set than we just saw from Southside.
I bet that drew a little clap from Justin Bowen over there on the sideline.
I don't see how it wouldn't as Marbit gets the shot blocked by Emma Rogers. Rebound to Rose as it'll be Southside Houston. Double dribbling with the basketball. I think she wanted to shoot the three in transition initially, but decided against it. And she really paid for it on that decision as far as the double dribble goes. Substitution, as Hokes Bluff will have a substitution come into the ball game with just a little over 6 minutes to go until halftime. It was 26-6 at the end of the first quarter, so the two teams have traded field goals so far to begin this second quarter. Hokes Bluff in the black tops today as part of this semifinal round at the Etowah County Tournament. Maisley Ball tries to drive, cut off as Davenport attempts to back her way in. Here's the drive for Doss as she'll run over a defender and commits the offensive foul. Emma Dawson a little bit of foul trouble, her second personal foul. I think that was Grace Ann Rose that was in there, or Westcott ready to draw that charge. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go until halftime. As Southside, the designated home team in this semifinal round with it. Rose floats it over to Marble. Back to Rose at the low block. And back out to Houston. Open three, no, a little short, but Rose for the offensive rebound and the putback for two. So Grace Ann Rose, her third field goal, 7 points in total, as the lead increases to 23 for Southside. 3 more games to go for us today as far as Etowah County semifinal tournament coverage here on FNN. Doss, she'll try the three ball. That's no good, and the rebound loose goes to Southside. Leah Lewis has had some solid minutes off the bench for Coach Justin Bowen and Southside, as she's already had a couple of rebounds to her credit. Here's Marble over to Houston. Thought about the three as the defense closes in for Hokes Bluff. Here's the pass to Rose. Pump fakes, puts it up. No, gets her own rebound, sticks it up and in for two. Grace Ann Rose quietly building up her point total close to double figures with 9. In fact, that 9 points leads all scores for Grace Ann Rose. Hokes Bluff trying to get into double figures as we come up on 4 minutes, 10 seconds to go until halftime. Hokes Bluff trying to go up against some tight man-to-man defense for Southside. There's at least a good idea, but not the best of entry passes as that ball goes out of bounds, so off the Southside. A new 5 for Southside comes in, and a couple more for Hokes Bluff. As back into the ball game will be Dixie Saylor as well as Addison Simmons. And there you see Bucks Island, one of our proud sponsors as far as the FNN High School basketball game of the week, as we're here today and tomorrow as far as the Etowah County Tournament semis today and then the championships tomorrow.
Yeah, going to have to ask them if they're going to start selling snowmobiles.
There's the three, no good for Simmons as the rebound goes to Southside's Mallory Brooks. Here's Brooks for three, up and pops out, no good.
How far down can one go and come out?
Yeah, that was at least about 3 inches through the hoop and then popped out as we had a traveling violation off the rebound for Southside. Yeah, that was a teaser that time for Mallory Brooks as she had it lined up and did everything but go through the hoop. 3.5 minutes to go until halftime, has Southside with a 25-point advantage. Hokes Bluff tries to penetrate the defense as they have not had a lot of success in their half-court offense today. Only a couple of field goals so far, as we'll have a loose ball ripped away momentarily from Simmons as Hokes Bluff retains control. They'll have to retreat to the backcourt as Presley Wall has it, and she'll pass it off to Davenport. Saylor over to Wall. Wall trying to find her way into the paint, can't do so as Ball turns, shoots the fadeaway. That's too strong, no good. As initial good box out by Lewis, and the loose ball goes out of bounds and a pushing foul on the rebound. I think they're going to say that's a Southside foul. as it would be, I think, Leah Lewis. And indeed, Leah Lewis called for the foul, her second. So Lewis is second, Southside's second here in the second quarter. Less than 3 minutes to go until halftime. Our first of 4 games today here on FNN.
If you love basketball, the buffet is open.
There's the turnaround, no good, as the rebound deflects out to Hokes Bluff. Davenport now on the drive, kicks out as Maisley ball drives into the paint, and her floater is no good. Rebound knocked away, out of bounds, off of Southside. So it's going to stay off to our right as Hokes Bluff's going to get a third crack at the basket. Hokes Bluff throws it away on the inbounds. Mallory Brooks on the steal. Goes into the paint and gets fouled before she shoots that transition layup.
That was a good foul.
So, yeah, only the second team foul. And I think it's Mary Davenport check that. Number 11, Addie Robertson, will be whistled for her first foul. She checked in at the last timeout. Here's a 3-try up and short, no good for Allie Rogers. As the rebound goes to Hokes Bluff's Mary Davenport as she tries to shoot and does.
Got it.
And scores on the coast-to-coast layup.
Good job by Davenport using that left hand and getting down there in the blocks and putting it up and in.
Her first field goal. And I think that's only the second field goal so far this first half for Hokes Bluff as they have 5 from the free throw line. Their first 2-point field goal today is here's the 3-try up and too strong, no good for Sarah Kate Yancey as a rebounding foul goes on Southside. So that'll be their third team foul, and let's see who they'll whistle. The third personal foul, they'll say, for Leah Lewis. So Lewis goes over the back as with her third foul, she'll take a seat on the bench for the final 1:39 until halftime. 33-10 in favor of Southside as they've led wire to wire so far this afternoon. Hokes Bluff wants to create a little bit of momentum before they go into halftime as Davenport airmails the 3 as that stays inbounds. As trying to save it in was Mallory Brooks as we'll have a jump ball, and the ball will go over to Southside. I think they'll call a travel, actually. So Hokes Bluff got the rebound, but also committed the travel after the rebound. So Southside with possession. Yancey swings over to Brooks as she'll drive, gets to the basket, misses the layup, however, as the rebound to Hokes Bluff. Maisley Ball, the 7th grader, gets the rebound. Has a team-high 4 points for Hokes Bluff as they'll drive. Good defense by Southside in the paint that time. As here's Davenport missing her runner on the driving layup, and the rebound to Layla Davis for Southside. Behind the defense, Madison Shaw back in. Has to kick out to Davis. Back to Shaw. Thought about the 3 momentarily as we approach 20 seconds left until halftime. Allie Rogers will swing over to Brooks. Here's the pass to Yancey. Driving baseline, kicks out to Madison Shaw for the 3 ball. No, off the back rim. Layla Davis on the rebound with 4. Turns around and makes the turnaround. Layla Davis, her first 2-point field goal as she has 5. Final seconds of the opening half. Davenport at the free throw line. Kicks out for the open 3, up and too strong. As that 3 no good for Lumpkin. As at halftime, it's all Southside as they take a 35-10 lead as far as our first of 2 semifinal games as far as the Etowah County girls varsity side of things. First of 4 here today on FNN. So we'll take the timeout. Southside on top, 35-10 at halftime as you're watching the Etowah County Tournament on FNN.
At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, we see our community as extended family.
Hello, I'm Mark Box. My wife Holly and I would like to thank the families that we have had the honor to serve. We see our community as our extended family. That's why we work so hard to invest in our community and the families that call it home. At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, you'll find services that are tailored to meet your needs, whatever those may be.
Piedmont Cutoff Highway in Glencoe and Highway 431 in Anniston. Our family serving your family.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Does the crawl space in your home look like this? Standing water and high humidity are the perfect makings for mold and wood rot, and that means expensive damages to your home. Solve the problem with a call to the experts at S&H Waterproofing and Construction. They've been turning this into this for over a quarter century. Protect your greatest investment with a free assessment today. Get quality work at a guaranteed lower price. S&H Waterproofing and Construction. Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
From Hokes Bluff, from the gymnasium at Hokes Bluff High School, as the Southside Lady Panthers, number 3 in the state of Alabama in Class 5A, has led wire to wire through the first 16 minutes so far this afternoon, up 35-10 over the Hokes Bluff Lady Eagles, as Southside comes in at 17-4 on the year. This is their first game since last Friday when they were able to take a road win at Alexandria in area play, 48-18, as we'll take a look at our first half highlights. And this is one of the rare field goals for Hokes Bluff, as it was Maisley Ball connecting on a 3, but good ball movement throughout the first half. This one leads to a 3 from Layla Davis. And then just great defense for Southside, really dominated the first half, but also they were pretty successful. Bailey Houston with a couple of threes, and you saw one of those. And
observation, James, I thought Southside got off really fast, but I think they kind of slowed down a little bit in the second half of the second quarter as it seemed like Hokes Bluff settled in just a little bit.
Well, I think you're right on that. Also, keep in mind that Coach Justin Bowen also went deep into his bench as we got in to the second quarter. 35-10, it's Southside on top at halftime in the first of 4 semifinal games here at the Etowah County Basketball Tournament that we'll show for you today. We'll take the timeout, and we'll have more as far as our halftime coverage here from Hokes Bluff as Southside leads Hokes Bluff. You're watching the Etowah County Basketball Tournament on FNN.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, we see our community as extended family.
Hello, I'm Mark Box. My wife Holly and I would like to thank the families that we have had the honor to serve. We see our community as our extended family. That's why we work so hard to invest in our community and the families that call it home. At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, you'll find services that are tailored to meet your needs, whatever those may be.
Piedmont Cutoff Highway in Glencoe and Highway 431 in Anniston. Our family serving your family.
It's tip-off time, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
run the floor with the Loft Tackle Store.
Get the assist from the team in service.
drive the paint with the parts team.
Shoot the lights out with the sales team.
It's a slam dunk with Bucks Island. Go get them and run them out your gym.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I-AM-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
Does the crawl space in your home look like this? Standing water and high humidity are the perfect makings for mold and wood rot, and that means expensive damages to your home. Solve the problem with a call to the experts at S&H Waterproofing and Construction. They've been turning this into this for over a quarter century. Protect your greatest investment with a free assessment today. Get quality work at a guaranteed lower price. S&H Waterproofing and Construction.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
At halftime, it's been a dominant first half for Southside as they lead Hokes Bluff in their first Etowah County basketball tournament game of the week, 35-10. And we'll send it down across the way to Jim Jacobs, who has Southside head coach Justin Bowen.
All right, thanks a lot, James. Coach, just a really good, fast start.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well right now. We wanted to start out quick and fast, and that's what we did. The second half's going to be trying to save our legs. Hopefully, if we can keep the lead for tomorrow. We're subbing 5 in, 5 out. We hadn't done that a whole lot this year, but I'm just trying to get some different, rotations in, some different girls. But I'm really proud of them. They started out quick, which is something I was worried about because we hadn't played in a week. So we were ready to play somebody else, and they've done a good job.
Well, obviously, they're a very young squad that has better things ahead of them. You're a senior-laden program. Obviously, tomorrow night's the big focus.
Yeah, Coach Talbot, I've thought about this all week. Coach Talbot's done a really, really good job this year because you can see that they have gotten considerably better throughout the year. I mean, they've had a big win, not long ago against Glencoe, and you can tell that those younger girls are getting a lot better, and, he's going to have a really good team the next couple of years. But, like I said, the big thing for us is, saving our legs, hopefully for tomorrow. Still playing crisp basketball, respecting the game, respecting the opponent, and just trying to get better, the rest of the game.
One word, finish.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you, Jim, as Southside comes in averaging about 54.5 points per ball game, and they're allowing just under 35 points per ball game on defense. And Hokes Bluff, at least so far, averaging just 36 points per ball game offensively, and actually defensively one of the better teams in Class 3A this season, giving up just 40.5 points per ball game, as we're almost ready to begin the second half. Looking at the unofficial scoring totals in the first half, you had Grace Ann Rose lead all scorers with 9, as she was followed by Layla Davis with 5. Also, Jovi Marble chipped in at 6 for Southside. 4 points from Madison Shaw, and then 5 each from Davis and Bailey Houston checked that with 6 on a couple of threes. And then Hokes Bluff was led by Maisley Ball with 4, a couple each from Emma Doss, Haley Marbett, and Mary Davenport. So we're about ready to begin the second half. The final, at least 16 minutes coming up. The third 8 minutes to start as Southside, as the designated home team, as the top seed in this Etowah County tournament, ready to begin the second half. And as you heard from Coach Justin Bowen, really it's about the process as far as how Southside finishes out this second half to go into tomorrow's semis. And that's a good start to the second half thanks to a 3 from Sarah Kate Yancey at the far corner. So the 3 ball was quite successful for Southside, as that is their 5th unofficially so far today. Davenport has it against a trapping zone defense, as there's a loose ball in the backcourt. Good hustle that time by Jovi Marble, but I think her hustle will lead to a foul. I think that's going to be on Marble, as she undercut her fellow number 1 in Mary Davenport. So will be Jovi Marble, her first personal foul. So looking at the 3 totals, at least according to my count, You have Emma Rogers with 1. Also, Layla Davis with 1, as there's a steal for Southside. Here's Yancey, lines up at 3, and she connects. Both field goals for Sarah Kate Yancey here in the third quarter, almost in the very same spot as there you see her switch to 3 from the corner, as there's the ball going out of bounds off of Hokes Bluff. So pass skips off of the hands of Dixie Saylor that time, as we'll have a wave of substitutions check in. Looks as if a new 5 for Coach Evan Talbot and Hokes Bluff. We've played just a little over a minute here in the third quarter, as the 3 ball up, and that's good for Mallory Brooks. Brooks, her first 3, 5 points in total, as there you see her with an open 3, and so far all of the 9 points in this third quarter for Southside has come from the 3-point line. Hokes Bluff trying to get on the scoreboard here in the second half. As Ella Walker in the game, playing the forward spot at the near wing for Hokes Bluff. Walker will look over that zone defense as Marbut gets a return pass. Some good passing in the half court for Hokes Bluff, as a trap forces the 3 ball up, and that's way off the mark. Grace Ann Rose behind the defense as she'll pass it up to Brooks for a very easy layup. Mallory Brooks with her second consecutive field goal. So she has now 5 of her 7 here in the third quarter. And so far it's been all Southside, literally scoring-wise in this third quarter, as we'll have a trap along the baseline, and stepping on the baseline looks like Lumpkin for Hokes Bluff. So the turnover for the Lady Eagles, as that gives the ball over to Southside. So it's been already 3 3-point baskets so far in this first half, along with a 2-point basket for Mallory Brooks and Southside, as they've scored 11 so far in this, 11 unanswered here in the third quarter. 3 ball for Davis, up and good. Layla Davis with 8, as that is her second 3 ball, and already 4 in the third quarter, as there you see a good look as Davis was able to hit that 3 in the corner. In fact, 3 of the 4 threes in this third quarter for Southside have been almost from that very spot that you just saw Layla Davis swish the 3. Turnover for Hokes Bluff, as Bailey Houston leads the break, and we'll have a whistle and a double dribble go on Southside. Now, this has been one of the best opening stretches of a second half, Jim, that you have to think the Southside has had all season long.
Oh, and absolutely just what, you heard what Justin said. It's just what he wanted.
Yeah, already 14 points so far in this third quarter, as they led 35-10 at halftime. Hokes Bluff still in search of their first points here in the third quarter.
And, of course, this sets up a running clock in the fourth quarter, which will help Southside rest those legs for tomorrow night.
Wall passes over to Marbut, retreats the Hokes Bluff logo at midcourt. 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Marbut angles over our way toward the near side. Tries to get away and couldn't for Marble. Wall dribbles against some tight man-to-man defense from Bailey Houston. Pass trying to go into the low block, goes out of bounds. Not the best of angles that time, as the intended receiver was Ryan Lumpkin.
Yeah, just let her too much. She just wasn't ready for the pass.
So 4:09 to go in the third quarter, as Leah Lewis into the game at Southside at the point. Also Hannah Westcott in at one of the low post positions, as Houston will skip it over to Madison Shaw. Lewis over to Houston. Extra pass goes to Allie Rogers. Lewis dribbles, skips over to Emma Rogers for 3. No, that's short, but Leah Lewis on the rebound. She's going to the free throw line for a chance at a couple. So that'll be the first foul in this third quarter for Hokes Bluff. And let's see who they'll call the foul on. So 23 in Ryan Lumpkin. That'll be her first personal foul. So you do have Leah Lewis on the floor with 3 fouls, as there's Lewis at the free throw line and misses on the free throw.
Yeah, hits the back of the rim and bounces out. And can't believe, what, a 10th grader there?
Indeed, one of 4 sophomores on Coach Justin Bowen's squad this year. A 5'9" guard as she'll step to the line for one more. Tries to get her first point of the afternoon and misses the free throw as the rebound goes to Maisley Ball. So Hokes Bluff with the basketball, as they have yet to score so far in the third quarter. They only had 4 in the second quarter as that 3 misses as the rebound to Madison Shaw for Southside. Leah Lewis passes over to Bailey Houston. Lewis skips over to Emma Rogers. Rogers on the dribble, but before that, travels with the basketball.
Little bunny hop right there. Officials called her.
But that's where, hey, at least for someone like Emma Rogers, getting playing time, significant playing time with the scoring discrepancy in this one will help her as far as some of the learning lessons from her time on the floor. We approach 3 minutes to go until the end of the third quarter. Hokes Bluff swings it around Maisley Ball back to Mary Davenport. Davenport directs traffic against the matchup zone defense for Southside. Also, the second half will allow some different combos and some, at least, experimentation as far as plays for Justin Bowen. As there's the 3 up and good for Maisley Ball.
So Ball knocks another one down.
That's her second 3 as she's up to 7. And there you see her hitting the first 3 and the first points for Hokes Bluff here in the second half. It took 5.5 minutes for Hokes Bluff to record their first points here in the third quarter. As the other way, Westcott double-teamed and has to kick it out to Emma Rogers. One more to Houston for 3. That's short, no good. Good hustle by Leah Lewis, but she was out of bounds as the ball goes over to Hokes Bluff, as we'll have Grace Ann Rose check in, and also one more substitution in Allie Rogers, the sophomore guard for Southside. 2 minutes and change to go in the third quarter. We'll have a running clock for the fourth quarter as Hokes Bluff tries to get some more points on the board. Here's the 3 up top of the key, off the rim, no good, as the rebound goes to Grace Ann Rose. Rose with a solid 9 so far, as you've had a good distribution of scoring for Southside so far this afternoon, as that 9 for Grace Ann Rose actually leads all scorers, as that's way too strong for Leah Lewis on the 3. Rebound to Mary Davenport as she'll walk it up the floor. The back end of the third quarter here in our first of 4 semifinal round games at Hokes Bluff High School. The Etowah County basketball tournament, as the 3 ball pops out of there. No good for Ball as the rebound goes to Southside. Lewis trots up the floor over to Allie Rogers. Emma Rogers dribbles toward the elbow. Her pass deflected and stolen by Emma Doss. Doss leads the break, backs it out. Now Hokes Bluff settles it in as they'll try in 3 off the side rim. No, put back no good off the offensive rebound as Madison Shaw comes down with the rebound. Leah Lewis up ahead, down low to Grace Ann Rose as she's going to the free throw line for 2. There you see Perez Flooring and More, one of our proud partners here on FNN, as that's just the second team foul for Hokes Bluff here in the third quarter and the third for Emma Doss. Grace Ann Rose will try and become the first player in double figures for either team, as her first free throw no good. Rose had 27 in the first game that we saw just a few weeks ago, Southside, as far as their contest against Cherokee County. One more free throw for Rose as she misses both free throws as the rebound knocked out of bounds and off of Hokes Bluff. 44 seconds to go in the third quarter. We'll have our first varsity boys semifinal coming up after the conclusion of this one. Rose.
That'll be the top seed Sardis taking on Gaston and one of the area's best players in Michael Marion. Merriman.
The three no good for Layla Davis as the rebound by Southside as they commit the travel after the rebound. Jovi Marble fell to the floor that time, and that'll be actually one of the best games that we possibly may even see all week. A couple of teams in Gaston and as well as Sardis that have had outstanding years so far. 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. There's a deflection by Marble, who's played brilliantly defensively so far today. Southside with the basketball, down to 5 as the entry pass goes to Rose. Rips away the basketball and gets the layup for 2.
Boy, that was strong right there.
Yeah, I thought that it was going to be a jump ball, as you'll see here, just rips away the basketball from a couple of Hokes Bluff defenders, including Emma Doss, to get the layup before the end of the third quarter.
And that gets us there, so let's take a quick break, and we'll be back for the final 8 coming up here on FNN.
It's tip-off time, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
run the floor with the Loft Tackle Store.
Get the assist from the team in service.
Drive the paint with the parts team.
Shoot the lights out with the sales team.
It's a slam dunk with Bucks Island. Go get them and run them out your gym.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, we see our community as extended family.
Hello, I'm Mark Box. My wife Holly and I would like to thank the families that we have had the honor to serve. We see our community as our extended family. That's why we work so hard to invest in our community and the families that call it home. At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, you'll find services that are tailored to meet your needs, whatever those may be.
Piedmont Cutoff Highway in Glencoe and Highway 431 in Anniston. Our family serving your family.
Fourth quarter underway in our first of 4 semifinal games today at the Etowah County Basketball Tournament here on FNN as Grace Ann Rose comes up with the steal for Southside. Mallory Brooks backs it out in transition as Southside settles into their half-court offense.
You know, James, I look for Coach Bowen to go with his starters here for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Then they're going to get set down the rest of this one, and you'll see subs the rest of the way as they get ready for Championship Saturday.
Here's Layla Davis for 3. Got it. Davis up to 11 as she's tied with Grace Ann Rose for the game-high lead in scoring. And that's three-pointer number 9 today for Southside. So good team effort for Southside today as there's a double team on the entry pass to Maisley Ball. Just under 7 minutes to go in the ball game as Ball turns and gets her turnaround blocked by Grace Ann Rose. Up ahead, Sarah Kate Yancey stops, kicks out to Davis. 3 ball, no. Rebound knocked around, goes to Southside as that put back no good as the ball off the rebound goes out of bounds. Sarah Kate Yancey tried the turnaround as Mallory Brooks will exit the ball game with 6.5 minutes to go in this running clock in the fourth quarter. Not a lot of fouls so far for either team in this semifinal round game as Davis skips over to Marble. Davis gets the return pass to Shaw. There's the line drive 3, too strong, no good. Rose with the rebound and gets the putback for 2. So Grace Ann Rose with 13. So we've played 2 minutes so far in this fourth quarter. As Southside will advance to Championship Saturday tomorrow at 5 o'clock. The girls varsity championship at 5, and then the boys varsity following completion of the girls varsity championship. Hokes Bluff only had 1 field goal in the third quarter, 3 in total. Now check that, 4 in total as we'll have a whistle, and it looks as if a foul underneath the basket on Southside. So that'll be the first foul for Southside here in the fourth quarter, and the second personal goes on Grace Ann Rose. Inbounds pass goes to Addison Simmons as Hokes Bluff works in the half court. Wearing their visiting black tops as the lower-seeded team today in the semifinal round. There's the long 3 up and short, no good for Hokes Bluff as the rebound goes to Madison Shaw. Marble, Davis, 3 ball, got it.
Bang. You just don't give her that kind of room. Nice pass cross court, squares up, nice high arching shot, nothing but net.
4 threes for Davis today, 14 in total, as we'll have a timeout on the floor and a full timeout. Or check that, a 30-second timeout, as we'll keep it here. And for Layla Davis, 14 today, but Jim gives Justin Bowen's team a little extra dimension, especially for when they get into postseason play.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, you got two really quality teams going at one another here. One young, down the road, going to be a powerhouse in the area. One that's already a powerhouse in the area. They've got much higher aspirations at Southside this year than just the county tournament, I can tell you that.
Well, they got to taste the championship round of the Northeast Regional last year, and certainly a contender to at least go that far this year. So a 46-point advantage for Southside as they've played one of their best games of the season so far today. And they've been suffocating defensively for the entire year as they've given up only about 35 per game. They've only allowed 13, a season low so far today, as the mid-range shot no good, but tracking down her own rebound is Maisley Ball. 3 ball up, that's no good off the side rim, and the rebound to Southside. Yancey on the rebound, almost halfway through the fourth quarter, as Shaw tries the 3. That's no good. Rebound, a fight for it, and it goes to Hokes Bluff. So the Lady Eagles come out with it. 4 minutes to go in the ball game, as Hokes Bluff will be eliminated in this Etowah County tournament as the baseline shot no good for the Lady Eagles. That time Saylor with the misfire from about 16. Yancey over to Houston. Back to Yancey as she'll drive, kick out to Shaw. A 3 ball short, no good. Rebound to Yancey as she sticks it in for 2. Sarah Kate Yancey, her first 2-point field goal as she has 8. Layla Davis leads all scorers with 14, and Grace Ann Rose right behind her with 13, and then Maisley Ball leads Hokes Bluff with 7. Under 3:20 to go in the game. A running clock here in the fourth quarter as the entry, and a good move that time by Addison Simmons as she'll get hacked underneath the basket and go to the line for 2. So that's just the second foul of this fourth quarter, both on Southside, and the second personal for Jovi Marble. So there you see Addison Simmons, another 8th grader.
Look at that height, though, James.
Oh, I know.
6'3". I mean, if she grows at all, she's going to be a powerhouse.
There's the Rainmaker free throw. That's no good.
I mean, you got to think she's got, another couple of 2 or 3 inches?
Yeah, probably.
As an 8th grader?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, probably 2 to 3 more inches. Certainly low post potential and really just basketball skill potential in her future. Still to go. One more to come for Simmons.
You know, and anybody you talk to that talks about playing the game, the advantages you get from floor time is that everything starts slowing down for you. You know, when you first start playing, everything's so fast. But as you get that experience, things slow down for you. And, boy, I tell you what, as an 8th grader, getting that experience out on this floor right now is a big deal for her.
Coach Justin Bowen empties the bench over the final 2 minutes and change, and we'll have a reach-in foul go on Hokes Bluff. So Southside has played every one of their 11 players on the roster today, as the foul for Hokes Bluff goes on Halen Marbett, her first. 2:25 to go. Madison Shaw hands off to Allie Rogers, to Westcott at the top of the key. Leah Lewis dribbles over to Emma Rogers, to Madison Shaw, works off the screen, passes to Westcott. They'll work it around as Shaw dribbles, slices through 2 defenders and kicks out for the 3 ball, up and off the rim, no good for Allie Rogers as Emma Rogers tracks down the rebound. Madison Shaw thinks about the 3, wants to go in and lays it in for 2. Was able to slice through the defense that time as Madison Shaw with 7. 1:40 to go in the ball game. Our first boys varsity semifinal coming up after this one between Sardis and Gaston.
Top seed Sardis.
Less than 90 seconds to go. A running clock here in the fourth quarter as Southside has led ever since early in the first quarter. So they've led wire to wire so far today. As Hokes Bluff just trying to finish out this game respectably as they'll throw it away out of bounds. Trying to track down that errant pass was Addie Robertson, as when she caught it, her foot was well out of bounds. So this will be one of the final times that Southside will have the basketball offensively as Bailey Houston crosses the timeline. So Southside will improve to 18-4 on the season. They're 3-0 in 5A Area 12 as they're actually coming off of an area win last Friday at Alexandria. Here's Lewis to Westcott. She fumbles the pass but gets it back as Allie Rogers makes the three. So Rogers, the sophomore, gets on the board here in the Etowah County tournament.
And that was popular with the bench.
Doesn't get a lot of playing time for Southside, but able to cash in with her first points of the game. 20 seconds to go in this semifinal round game. Marbut tries to pass it in, but it gets deflected. A loose ball and a tie-up as it'll be Southside basketball. And that's basically going to close out the ball game.
Yep.
As they'll just run out the clock here to close out this semifinal round game, as it's been all Southside so far this afternoon as they take care of business against Hokes Bluff 66-14. A well-balanced effort on both ends of the floor for the Lady Panthers as Layla Davis and Grace Ann Rose lead the way with 14 and 13 each for the Panthers. We'll take this timeout and we'll begin our post game after this as you're watching the Etowah County Basketball Tournament on FNN.
Does the crawl space in your home look like this? Standing water and high humidity are the perfect makings for mold and wood rot, and that means expensive damages to your home. Solve the problem with a call to the experts at S&H Waterproofing and Construction. They've been turning this into this for over a quarter century. Protect your greatest investment with a free assessment today. Get quality work at a guaranteed lower price. S&H Waterproofing and Construction.
It's tip-off time, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
Run the floor with the Loft Tackle Store.
Get the assist from the team in service.
Drive the paint with the parts team.
Shoot the lights out with the sales team.
It's a slam dunk with Bucks Island. Go get them and run them out your gym.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
A final in our first semifinal today as the Southside Lady Panthers easily take care of the Hokes Bluff Lady Eagles 66-14, and we'll send it down to Jim Jacobs with victorious head coach for Southside, Justin Bowen.
Another exciting game and job well done.
Yeah, just really proud of our girls. I thought we shot the ball really well tonight, which, once again, we hadn't played in a week, so I was a little worried about that. But we've stayed in the gym. We got up a lot of shots, and they fell tonight for most of our girls. So just really proud of the way we shot it. Thought we played really good defense, and we're able to save our legs a little bit, get a bunch of girls playing time. So it was a good day for us.
Coach, obviously, this time a year ago, this was a disappointing affair for you guys for what you wanted to do last season. Is this one of the things that's been on the blackboard this year?
Yeah, I mean, our ultimate goal is a blue map. I mean, especially this year with the group that we have. But, the Southside girls has only won the county tournament here one time in the school history. So, that was kind of what we used as motivation for this tournament, to try to make school history. And this is the group to do it with. They've worked really hard. So I think they're focused, and I think they're excited to play in the championship game because ultimately, last year we got beat in a really tough game. And Sardis has another good team this year. Glencoe has a good team, so we're excited to play some good competition in the championship game.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on advancing to Championship Friday.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Coach Justin Bowen, as Southside improves to 18-4 overall in the season, while Hokes Bluff drops to 8-9 on the year. As we'll take a look at some highlights. That's first some rare points for Hokes Bluff. The three from Maisley Ball as she led Hokes Bluff with 7, but 9 threes in total, and you had 4 of those belong to Layla Davis, who ended up with 14. And there's one of a couple of threes from Bailey Houston. A well-balanced effort for Southside today, as you had all but a couple of players that were able to record points today. As defensively and even offensively, Southside just simply dominated today. As you'll take a look at some good ball movement in transition that led to a Sarah Kate Yancey 3, who finished the game with 8. Another look at a 3 ball, this time for Mallory Brooks. As the 14 points, by the way, Jim, that Hokes Bluff only managed today, a season low in points allowed this year by Southside.
Yeah, great game. Southside advances, kind of what we expected. Got another good one coming up, our second of 4 semifinals we're going to bring to you today. We need to get off here so we can get ready for game number 2. That's going to do it. Southside advances. They'll take on the winner of Sardis and Glencoe coming up later this evening in FNN basketball action live from Hokes Bluff. For James Hardy, Jim Jacobs, the rest of the FNN crew, we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Has been an exclusive sports production of FNN, the Friday Night Network.
we welcome you back to the gymnasium at Hokes Bluff High School for our second of 4 semifinal games today from the Etowah County Basketball Tournament. James Hardy with you as our first game featured a Southside domination and a 66-14 win over Hokes Bluff in the first of a couple of girls varsity semifinal games today. This is our first of 2 boys varsity semis as the top seed in Sardis will take on number 4 seed Gaston. Both teams having outstanding years this year as Gaston comes in at 16-5 on the year as they had a quarterfinal round win yesterday over Southside 56-48. But for Sardis, they've had one of their best seasons in school history so far, a 20-2 start to the year, including a perfect run through Class 5A Area 13 at 6-0. Sardis, a very experienced squad as they have 8 seniors this year. As we'll go ahead and send it down to Jim Jacobs for our first coaching visit prior to today's ball game.
Well, here's our first game, I think, of the day where David's actually got a chance against Goliath. Coach Michael Merriman here with us from Gaston. Talk a little bit about tonight's matchup, Coach.
It's going to be tough for us. Sardis is really good. They're well coached. Coach Owen does a great job with them, man. He has them in the right spots, and the kids play hard. And I like our kids. We're going to play hard too and give it our best shot.
What's it going to take to knock off number 1 tonight?
We got to take care of the ball. Got to make some shots, and then we got to really play great defense. I feel like. That's kind of our bread and butter. Is you can always control how hard you play defensively. So if we're doing that, I like our chances. But we've got to be able to shoot the ball well tonight.
Coach, it's amazing how it comes back to the same old stuff, isn't it?
Same thing every game. That's what I tell our guys pregame. Like, at the end of the day, the game's really hard, but it's really simple.
But on the other hand, your kids have to be excited to be in this situation.
Oh, no doubt. We were in this same game last year. Took Hokes Bluff to the wire. Couldn't finish it off. That was a great Hokes Bluff team. Coach Presley is a heck of a coach, and just it's hard to beat them, and Coach Owen the same way. So, hopefully last year's game kind of gives us a little bit to know how to finish this one off if we're in that position again.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much, Coach Merriman, as Gaston comes in at 16-5 on the year. 57 points per ball game they average, and we'll now take a visit over to the Sardis side for Coach Van Owens with Jim Jacobs.
Yep, we've got Coach Owen right here. Coach, top seed in the tournament, but semifinals, you got to take care of business tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a little difficult. We hadn't played since last Friday, so we've had a whole week off, and so sometimes you don't know how you're going to react when you had a long layoff like that. So I guess we'll see.
Coach, how do you prepare your kids when you haven't played in 7 days?
Well, we had a day or two there where we couldn't practice because of the weather and didn't want to risk, bringing them to the gym. But we just tried to, get some scrimmage time in against each other, which is never as good as playing against somebody else. But, it's all you can do when you've got no other options. So a lot of practice, a lot of work.
Keys to handling Gaston tonight. I mean, obviously Micah's a big deal for them. You got to slow him, at least slow him down. But what's the keys to the game?
Well, they got several guys, Micah being the lead guy there, but they've got several guys that we've got to watch. They've got a great post player. They got some guys that can shoot it from around 3. They got some great defenders. It's going to be a big job. We're just going to have to play well, take care of the basketball. Keeping them off the offensive glass will help us a lot, too. Their big guys get a lot of rebounds and putbacks. So that'll be key for us, and, we'll do what we can against Micah.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on being the top seed, and let's go take care of business and give us a good one.
Thank you, sir. We hope to.
Thank you very much, fellas, as Sardis comes in averaging 67 points per ball game offensively, and they've allowed just a little more than 50 per ball game. Sardis in their last game, as Coach Owens mentioned, last Friday in a 67-50 Area 13 win in Class 5A over Boaz that actually helped clinch an area title for Sardis. Our game tonight brought to you, as always, by S&H Waterproofing and Construction, Bucks Island, as well as Bama Sheds. We'll go ahead and take our first time out, and we'll take a look at starters as well as have tip-off for our first boys varsity semifinal from the Etowah County Tournament as you're watching FNN.
Does the crawl space in your home look like this? Standing water and high humidity are the perfect makings for mold and wood rot, and that means expensive damages to your home. Solve the problem with a call to the experts at S&H Waterproofing and Construction. They've been turning this into this for over a quarter century. Protect your greatest investment with a free assessment today. Get quality work at a guaranteed lower price. S&H Waterproofing and Construction.
It's tip-off time, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
Run the floor with the Loft Tackle Store.
Get the assist from the team in service.
Drive the paint with the parts team.
Shoot the lights out with the sales team.
It's a slam dunk with Bucks Island. Go get them and run them out your gym.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I-AM-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, we see our community as extended family.
Hello, I'm Mark Box. My wife Holly and I would like to thank the families that we have had the honor to serve. We see our community as our extended family. That's why we work so hard to invest in our community and the families that call it home. At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, you'll find services that are tailored to meet your needs, whatever those may be.
Piedmont Cutoff Highway in Glencoe and Highway 431 in Anniston. Our family serving your family.
We come back from the gymnasium at Hokes Bluff High School as we get ready for our first boys varsity semi of the Etowah County Tournament. James Hardy, Jim Jacobs with you as we just visited with both Gaston head coach Michael Merriman and Coach Van Owens, and should be an interesting matchup. Almost, when you look at these two teams, really kind of a championship quality matchup in the semifinals today.
Yeah, I think we've got two great boys semifinals here in the Etowah County Tournament tonight. Of course, in the nightcap, you got Glencoe and Hokes Bluff, and that's one of them no love lost games right there, buddy.
Yeah, at least for the home folks here, the featured matchup as far as Hokes Bluff and Glencoe. And for Glencoe, it'll be their second straight game in as many games as far as against their almost crosstown rivals, really, in Hokes Bluff.
You know, James, I think the key to this game is Gaston hanging around early. I think they got to find out that they belong, and if they can do that, they can make a game of this thing. If Sardis steps on the gas early and Gaston can't respond, could be a long night for the Bulldogs.
Now, what will be very interesting to find out, especially for Gaston, does playing a game yesterday benefit them, especially early, as far as trying to build an early lead in the semifinal round game against Sardis that has already won 20 games and, by the way, clinched Class 5A Area 13.
Basketball tournament, State Representative Mac Butler, State Representative Mark Gidley, County Commissioner Joey Statham, County Commissioner Johnny Grant, Hokes Bluff Mayor and City Council, the Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Cemetery, People's Independent Bank of Hokes Bluff, N&P Financial, Northeast Orthopedics, and Sandlin Rentals. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hokes Bluff High School would like to welcome you to tonight's basketball matchup between the Gaston Bulldogs and the Sardis Lions. First, for our visitors on the scoreboard, the starting lineups for the Gaston Bulldogs. Starting at guard, a junior, number 3, Peyton Morrison. Starting at forward, a junior, number 32, Cody Bogle. Starting at guard, a junior, number 11, Adonis Jones. Starting at forward, a junior, number 4, Devin Green. And at guard, a junior, number 12, Micah Merriman. The Bulldogs are coached by Michael Merriman and assisted by Nick Lewis, Marco Green, and Jeremiah White. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the home team on the scoreboard, the Sardis Lions. Starting at guard, a senior, number 13, Kason Moore. Starting at guard, a senior, number 14, Connor Lowry. Starting at guard, a senior, number 23, Luke Martin. Starting at forward, a senior, number 4, Carson Gilliland. And at center, a senior, number 12, Eli Morton. The Lions are coached by Van Owens and assisted by Jacob Holland and Judd Ferguson.
So we're ready for tip-off in our first semifinal for the boys varsity teams here in the Etowah County Tournament. Gaston taking on Sardis, a 1-4 matchup, our second of 4 games today in semifinal round Friday here on FNN. Championship Saturday starts at 5 o'clock for us tomorrow with the girls varsity championship followed by the boys varsity championship. So it'll be Devin Green as well as Eli Morton to jump center, and it will be Sardis basketball to begin tonight's ball game.
Top seed Lions against the 4th-seeded Gaston Bulldogs.
There's the entry pass to Gilliland as he'll turn, pump fake, and tries to pass it off to Morton, but gets deflected. Drive for Martin as he has to back out due to good man-to-man defense from Micah Merriman. Man-to-man D for Gaston in their red tops and bottoms as Gilliland shoots the hook and misses as it pops out, and the rebound goes to Devin Green for Gaston. Sardis in the white tops and bottoms as Merriman mishandles the basketball, a fight for it, and a jump ball as the possession arrow keeps it with Gaston. Gaston averages 57 points per ball game, and Sardis gives up only about 50 points per ball game defensively. So the basketball will stay with Gaston as Micah Merriman inbounds. Man-to-man defense, a softer man-to-man to start things for Sardis defensively. We've played about a minute of this ball game as there's a good look along the baseline, but the kick out back to Adonis Jones as he'll drive. Gets cut off on solid defense by Luke Martin. Micah Merriman will hold the basketball as they'll play a little weave action with Gaston.
Playing it out awful high, though. Good job by Sardis on the man-to-man.
Adonis Jones on the drive as he's fouled by one of a couple of Sardis Lions defenders. And I think they're going to get that foul call on either Moore or check that. It'll be Connor Lowry whistled for the reach in, his first. They'll say that's a foul on the floor, so no free throws for Gaston as Micah Merriman will yo-yo the basketball and direct traffic. Merriman on the drive, goes in, turns, and travels with the basketball. First turnover for Gaston. That was good defense by Luke Martin on the back end as he was able to force that Micah Merriman travel. There'll be Sardis in the half court as there'll be the entry pass going in to Eli Morton. Turns, shoots, and misses from about 8 feet as that ball goes out of bounds off of Sardis.
Yeah, both teams kind of tentative right now, James. Not really forcing too much.
Well, the teams figuring each other out here in the first quarter. Full court pressure for Sardis as Merriman breaks it. We're almost to the 2-minute mark here in the opening quarter. 2 minutes played, that is, as Micah Merriman got it deflected, but the turnaround no good for Green. Gets it back, puts it up, and he'll have a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Yeah, good job. Got this thing down inside. Now watch him here, James. A little bit of a ball fake, gets it up, gets it down, and goes to the line, or as we like to say in our business, the hoop and the harm.
Eli Morton on the foul, his first. Good determination by Devin Green as he was denied the first time, got the second try and able to come through, and he'll want to try and at least convert the three-point opportunity.
That's a good look at the junior right there. I bet he plays football too.
I wouldn't doubt it one bit.
He is a healthy young man.
6'5", 220 pounds. So an early 3-0 start in favor of Gaston as that shot no good from mid-range as the block out of there as Carson Gilliland tried to put the return shot up, no good as Sardis has it. Baseline jumper, no good. As the rebound his own for Kaysen Moore. as Morton goes in and misses the bank shot as the rebound goes to Devin Green. In transition, the outlet pass a bit too far that time for Cody Boggle.
Well, you can tell Gaston kind of wants to put the pedal to the metal, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. As they've already used some full court pressure at least once so far today. And then tried to at least sneak a player behind the defense transitionally.
Played 2.5 minutes, and Sardis is yet to score.
There's the entry pass to Mortons. He'll turn, pump fakes, and gets it blocked that time by Green as the rebound goes to Gaston. Micah Merriman nearly a little loose with the basketball that time, but keeps possession. Now in control will be Adonis Jones as the ball knocked away out of bounds by Connor Lowry for Sardis. So far, we've played over 3 minutes of this opening quarter, and it's been just 3 points for Devin Green. That's been the scoring in this one. Two teams feeling each other out in the semifinal Friday. Our first of two boys varsity semis in the Etowah County Tournament. As there's a bumping foul right in front of the bench across the way for Sardis. Right in front of Gaston head coach, Sardis head coach Van Owens, as that foul goes on Kaysen Moore. That is his first and already 3 team fouls for Sardis. Inbounds pass goes to Adonis Jones in the backcourt. 4.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Gaston looking for their 17th victory of the season and their second in this Etowah County tournament. Sardis trying to extend on a 5-game winning streak coming in to the county tournament.
But hadn't played in a week.
Absolutely, and they're showing it right now.
Yeah, kind of think so.
Merriman didn't have the turnaround. Kicks out for the 3 ball, up and good for Gaston's Peyton Morrison.
Merriman penetrates, finds his teammate there at the line, squares up, and bang.
A pretty looking jumper that time by Morrison. And might have seen Merriman try and shoot a turnaround that time. Showed the maturity in passing out to an open teammate. And here's the steal for Micah Merriman.
Great defense by Merriman, stepping in front of that inside pass.
Morrison short on the 3, and the rebound goes to Sardis as they want to push it in transition.
Lions yet to score.
Kaysen Moore gets blocked out of there by Sardis. Micah Merriman on the block. As here's Morrison spotting up for 3. Got it. Peyton Morrison, his second triple as a fast start, a 9-0 start for Gaston. And there you see Morrison spot up for the 3 as Sardis head coach Van Owens wants a timeout.
Yeah, and he needs it too because this one's kind of getting away from him a little bit.
And it's going to be a 30-second timeout, but so far Gaston getting back-to-back triples from Peyton Morrison. And then Devin Green with the old-fashioned and one was able to get the scoring started as they've basically been able to pull off a 9-0 run over the last 3 minutes. And there's a look at our next regular, at least conventional game, we'll say, after this week here in Hokes Bluff, as we'll make the trip to White Plains for a 4A top 10 showdown between Jacksonville and White Plains.
It's a top 5 matchup.
Yeah.
Number 2, I think it's number 3 versus number 2.
And we can almost say a 1-2 matchup in the state next week. And probably wouldn't be shocked if you saw that matchup in the postseason.
Jacksonville playing tonight in the Calhoun County Championship game against Oxford.
There's a long 3-ball good for Luke Martin.
Just hand it to this guy and let him square up way back there and knocks it down.
From the Eagles logo, as quickly the other way comes Boggle. Merriman guarded tightly by Sardis as that shot in the paint no good, and the rebound goes to Sardis. Luke Martin with good defense has good job running the floor by the center, Eli Morton's his first shot, no, but the second try will get him to the free throw line.
Yeah, somebody fouled him. There's about 3 or 4 of them down there that could be guilty.
So let's see who they'll call the first team foul on. It'll be the first personal for Devin Green. 2:37 left in the opening quarter as the 3-ball on the last trip by Luke Martin. Let's see if that gets Sardis going as Eli Morton hits the free throw. Martin, a 6'6", 212-pound senior center with his first point. We've seen already the focal point as far as the Sardis offense this year. Free throw no good as the rebound will be deflected and goes to Sardis as the putback up and good for Carson Gilliland. So a three-point trip as it turns out for Sardis as they're back within 3 at 9-6. Merriman dribbles between the circles as Adonis Jones had a thought about the three. Now gets cut off on the drive. Man-to-man defense being used by Sardis. Sardis in the white tops and the bottoms as we approach 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Here's Morrison, underhands as Green puts it up and in for two. Little awkward looking shot that time by Devin Green, but effective though as he has his second field goal and he's up to 5.
It's a lot easier when you're 3 feet from the basket.
Well, this is true as well as on the drive. The kick out by Martinez, standing out of bounds, or they'll say the offensive foul, I believe, on Sardis. And indeed, an offensive foul.
Push off.
So it'll be Eli Martin, or Luke Martin, I should say, on the foul. That'll be his first.
Team's fourth, I think.
Yeah, so the next foul, it'll be Gaston shooting free throws for the rest of the first quarter. So we'll have a substitution as checking out will be Devin Green, and in will be Jacob Williams, the junior guard for Gaston. So the Gaston Bulldogs have an opportunity to build on a 5-point advantage. They've led by as much as 9 as a loose ball and a steal goes to Sardis.
Got numbers.
Up ahead at the layup, a little too short that time for Mason Harrod as the rebound goes to Micah Merriman. You had Harrod that was too far under the basket as a deflection and a steal. Morton on the steal as Sardis has it, a deflection and a loose ball and a steal. Adonis Jones gets the loose ball. Might have gotten fouled, no whistle, as some sloppy play by both teams as the ball goes out of bounds off of Sardis. So Gaston lucky to keep the basketball as Devin Green gets a rather quick breather on the bench as he comes back in for Gaston. And Jacob Williams with a cup of coffee out on the floor as he's back on the bench. 1:01 to go in the opening quarter as Gaston and Micah Merriman will walk it up the floor. Jones in front of the Sardis bench as Morrison already with a couple of threes. And now Merriman's first shot is too strong, no good, as the rebound gets knocked around out of bounds off of Gaston. So a good look that time by Micah Merriman, who has not scored anything so far, was their leading scorer, one of the top scorers in Class 2A a season ago. As Sardis has trailed so far the entire first quarter, but they have a chance to cut this deficit down to 1 possession prior to the end of the first quarter. Pull-up jumper, free throw line up and good for Luke Martin. Martin with 5 of the Sardis's 8 points so far today. Also has 2 of their 3 field goals, as it'll be Gaston holding for the final shot. Merriman passes over to Morrison. Goes in, leaves it off for Green as he goes against 2 defenders and lays it in for 2.
Good, strong move right there by Green, James.
Final seconds as Sardis with it. Desperation 3 up and good before the end of the quarter.
What about that? Watch this right here. Dribble drive, stop, jump shot, bang, knocked it down.
Kaysen Moore with that 3 to end the first quarter. As through 1 quarter of play, it's Gaston up 13-11 as you're watching the Etowah County Tournament on FNN.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Does the crawl space in your home look like this? Standing water and high humidity are the perfect makings for mold and wood rot, and that means expensive damages to your home. Solve the problem with a call to the experts at S&H Waterproofing and Construction. They've been turning this into this for over a quarter century. Protect your greatest investment with a free assessment today. Get quality work at a guaranteed lower price. S&H Waterproofing and Construction.
Second quarter underway as Moore drives, kicks out for the three ball, up and rims home for Sardis.
And that'll give the Lions their first lead of the game.
Lucas Montgomery off the bench. Instant offense for the Sardis Lions, as indeed, as Jim mentions, Sardis takes their first lead of the game. Adonis Jones picks up his dribble for Gaston as Micah Merriman held scoreless in the first quarter with the basketball. Devin Green led Gaston with 7, and then Peyton Morrison had 6 in the first quarter for Gaston. Merriman on the drive, stops, needs some help, and finds Green. Jones at the far wing, back to Merriman. As he'll try and go baseline, met briefly by a double team.
Kind of feel like Sardis has caught another gear here, James.
Well, Sardis got down 9-0 in the opening quarter, but they've scored 14 of the last 18 points in this game. Morrison on the dribble, stops, gets bumped, and now there's your whistle and the foul on Sardis. So that'll be the first foul of this second quarter, and the second for Luke Martin. So Luke Martin had 5 to lead Sardis, as he'll looks like stay in the ball game with 2 fouls. Mike Merriman receives the inbounds pass, turns, and forces one up, no good, as the rebound goes to Sardis as they want to push it in transition. There's the layup, good on the driving layup by Lucas Montgomery. So the sophomore with quality minutes to begin the second quarter as he has the first 5 for Sardis here in the second quarter. Under 6.5 to go until halftime. Jones shoots from the three-point line, no good on the long 2, and the rebound for Jacob Bozarth. Sardis trots it up the floor as Moore dumps it down as Eli Morton gets his shot blocked by Devin Green. Green with a couple of blocks so far is Micah Merriman in the open floor. Merriman on the drive and gets bumped baseline by Sardis, and the foul on Jacob Bozarth, his first. One few times we've seen Micah Merriman with some room here in the first half for Gaston, as that'll be the second team foul of this second quarter for Sardis.
You can just kind of sense that Sardis defense has picked up quite a bit.
Inbounds pass goes to Merriman. He'll try a 3 and bricks it no, and the rebound goes to Eli Morton for Sardis. Sardis has a chance to extend on a 3-point lead. Gaston has led as much as 9-0 in the first quarter. There's a little pick and roll to Morton as he'll get the blocking foul, and I think he's going to have a chance for 2 at the free throw line. Obviously a Gaston foul and a blocking foul. So it'll be the first team foul of the second quarter.
They're going to call that on the floor, James.
So it'll be Micah Merriman whistled on the foul, and as Jim points out, a foul on the floor. So substitution as Bozarth checks back out for Sardis. Moore receives the inbounds, thought about the 3 as Montgomery drives. Top, at least free throw line rather. Eli Morton shoots the fade away, no good, and the rebound knocked away out of bounds off of Gaston's Cody Boggle. Andrew Felter, one of the 5 on the floor for Sardis as Lucas Montgomery inbounds. It's been really all Sardis ever since Gaston got off to that 9-0 start in the first quarters. There's the driving shot, no good, but a trip to the free throw line coming up for Kaysen Moore. So it'll be another foul, and the first for Gaston's Adonis Jones. So that's the second team foul here in the second quarter, and a trip to the free throw line coming up for Kaysen Moore, the senior guard. There you see him as he misses the first of 2 free throws. 1 of 3 so far from the Linus team for Sardis here in the first half. Here you see a 6'1", 159-pound senior guard, one of 8 seniors in Kaysen Moore as he hits the free throw. So Moore 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. We approach 5 minutes until halftime. Gaston with the basketball. Floated high post for Green. Back to Merriman. Merriman on the drive. Nearly gets it ripped out of his hands by Montgomery as Merriman drives to the basket and misses, but he'll have a chance for 2 free throws. A late whistle that time, as I think they're going to whistle the foul on Eli Morton. And indeed, it'll go on him, his second. And so that'll be the team's third here in the second quarter for Sardis. It was a 9-0 start through the first 3.5 minutes of this ball game for Gaston. But Sardis has gone on a 17-4 run since as Merriman hits the first of 2 free throws, his first points of the night. We'll have another one coming. Gaston off a 56-48 quarterfinal round win last night over Southside. As one more free throw for Micah Merriman, up and good. So that cuts the deficit to a one possession lead, a 2-point lead for Sardis as they have the basketball in their half court. Pass floated in as an over-the-back foul defensively that time goes on Jacob Williams for Gaston. Tried to go over the top that time of Carson Gilliland, as that'll be the 3rd team foul on Gaston. Kaysen Moore thinks about the 3. Now it goes in against Adonis Jones, kicks out to Montgomery. 3 ball, good from the corner.
Good looking shot, great penetration. Gets in the lane right here, finds his teammate over on the left wing, squares it up, and, well, you know what happened.
Oh, absolutely, and check that. Thought that was Lucas Montgomery, and I beg your pardon, Connor Lowry back in the game as he has his first 3. Jacob Williams at the far corner against the man-to-man D as Merriman thought about the 3, now steps back for the 3, no. And the rebound goes to Boggle as he'll get it stripped out of his hands, that time out of bounds by Kaysen Moore.
And, critical time in the game, I think, here for Gaston, James. They've got to hang on here now. Sardis has pushed out a 5-point advantage. They've got the basketball, got 4 minutes left to go in the half. Gaston needs to play solid.
Adonis Jones inbounds to Peyton Morrison. Jones gets it back right in front of us. Sardis wants to trap Jones with the basketball. And now they got the trap on Merriman. As Merriman into the paint, shoots the teardropper, no, and good defense that time as the rebound by Carson Gilliland. Up ahead is Lowry, goes in, reverse layup, too far under the basket as the rebound to Adonis Jones for Gaston. Jones tried to go behind the back, but Merriman there to rescue the basketball. It's a loose ball and a breakout here for Sardis as the layup in for 2 and a timeout for Gaston. Kaysen Moore with the 2-point field goal. He's up to 6 as the largest lead of the game for Sardis as they're up 7, 22-15, as we have, looks like a man down across the way for Sardis. Looks like an injury timeout. Let's go ahead and step aside here as you're watching the Etowah County Basketball Tournament semifinals on FNN.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just 1 or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
.324 left in the opening half as Gaston leads 22-15 as they trailed 13-11 coming into this second quarter. So just a couple of points so far in this second quarter for Gaston as Micah Merriman drives in, turns, shoots a tough fadeaway that's blocked out of there by Lucas Montgomery. Micah Merriman has been held in check so far this afternoon as Montgomery behind the D, the pass a bit too high for him, out of bounds. So the turnover for Sardis as Gaston wants to try and cut into a 7-point Sardis lead. They were up 9-0 in the first 3.5 minutes of this ball game, but it's been all Sardis since. Morrison turns, gets in the paint, and leaves it off for Bogle, who misses, but will go to the free throw line for a couple. So it'll be the foul on Sardis, and it'll be Andrew Felter with his first personal foul. So free throws coming up as Cody Bogle, the 6'2 junior, for his first free throw, up and good. So Bogle, his first, got another one coming. So Gaston has made 4 of their 5 and 4 of their 6 as the back end of 2, no good for Bogle, and the rebound goes to Montgomery for Sardis. About 2.5 minutes to go in the first half as Lowry stops, leaves it off under the basket as that was a careless pass but deflected out of bounds as Bosarth tried to wrap it around to one of his perimeter teammates in Felter, but Gaston knocked it out of bounds. Sardis ball as Montgomery Euro steps in and lays it in for 2. Lucas Montgomery with 7 off the bench all here in the second quarter. 24 for Sardis, 16 for Gaston as Merriman to Morrison. Fakes and now shoots the 3 and buries it. Peyton Morrison with all 9 from the three-point line. He has 3 triples. Back the other way, Lowry sinks the 3. Connor Lowry answers the Peyton Morrison 3 as the lead balloons back up to 8 for Sardis. Sardis, the top seed in this year's Etowah County tournament on the boys' side. About 90 seconds to go until halftime. There's the dump down to Devin Green, who sticks it in for 2. Good pass by Micah Merriman in traffic that time as Green up to 9. Back the other way. Here's Bosarth. Or check that, Felter, who gets cut off. And now the step back 3 too strong for Moore. Offensive rebound ripped away from Felter as Merriman pushes the tempo. Merriman in traffic, floats it up, no, as the rebound goes to Lowry for Sardis.
Boy, Merriman can't buy a bucket, can he?
In transition, great pass that time by Moore, but just a bad handle by Bosarth as he misses the layup. Merriman in transition, Morrison goes in against 2 defenders and nearly throws it away as Kason Moore knocks it out of bounds. 43.9 seconds to go until halftime as it's a 6-point advantage for Sardis. Micah Merriman inbounds the basketball. Sardis needs really to get a little bit of momentum, try and claw a little bit further back into this one before we get to halftime. Sardis has played some really good defense ever since about midway through the first quarter. Here's Merriman, pulls up from the elbow and scores. Really the first time that Micah Merriman has gotten an open look, especially inside the three-point line, as that's his first field goal of the night. 11 seconds to go until halftime. There you see Kason Moore directing traffic at the point as Moore tries to go baseline, gets cut off and shoots the fadeaway from 17 and scores. Kason Moore with his 8th point leading into halftime, and that is a big momentum booster for Sardis as they take a 6-point lead into the halftime locker room. Sardis 29 and Gaston 23 at halftime. We'll take this time out as you're watching the Etowah County Basketball Tournament on FNN.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, we see our community as extended family.
Hello, I'm Mark Box. My wife Holly and I would like to thank the families that we have had the honor to serve. We see our community as our extended family. That's why we work so hard to invest in our community and the families that call it home. At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, you'll find services that are tailored to meet your needs, whatever those may be.
Piedmont Cutoff Highway in Glencoe and Highway 431 in Anniston. Our family serving your family.
It's tip-off time, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
Run the floor with the Loft Tackle Store.
Get the assist from the team in service.
Drive the paint with the parts team.
Shoot the lights out with the sales team.
It's a slam dunk with Bucks Island. Go get them and run them out your gym.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I-AM-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
Does the crawl space in your home look like this? Standing water and high humidity are the perfect makings for mold and wood rot, and that means expensive damages to your home. Solve the problem with a call to the experts at S&H Waterproofing and Construction. They've been turning this into this for over a quarter century. Protect your greatest investment with a free assessment today. Get quality work at a guaranteed lower price. S&H Waterproofing and Construction.
Okay.
At halftime of our first of two boys varsity semifinal games on Semifinal Friday here at the Etowah County Basketball Tournament, Sardis trailed 9-0 coming out of the gates in the first 3.5 minutes of the first quarter, but Sardis a strong second quarter as they were able to put up 18 of their 29 in the second quarter to take a 29-23 lead at halftime. And here's a look at our highlights as a strong start led by Devin Green, who had 9 in the first quarter, got the scoring started with an and one in the first quarter. And then there's one of 2 first quarter threes for Peyton Morrison, who finished the first half with 9. A second look at a transition 3 by Peyton Morrison as he made 2 of his first 3 triples in the first half. And speaking of getting things started, there's Luke Martin rather from Steph Curry range.
First 3 of the game for Sardis. There's the second one.
And that was right before the end of the first quarter by Kaysen Moore as he had a big first half, as also Lucas Montgomery with a pretty big second quarter for Sardis. As you'll take a look at another 3 ball in the corner from Connor Lowry. Finished the first half with 6. Peyton Morrison, some good shooting moves that time to get himself free for the 3. And at halftime, it's a 29-23 game, and still, Jim, anybody's ball game as we approach the beginning of the third quarter.
Well, I think if you're Coach Merriman, you're telling your kids right now, like, look, we jumped on these guys early. Okay, they've come back. Now we got to play defense. We got to, pressure that ball, and we've got to score when we have opportunities. We cannot commit the live ball turnovers.
5 threes for Sardis in the first half as they have a 29-23 lead at halftime. We'll take the timeout, and we'll set up the beginning of the second half after this.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
it's tip-off time, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
Run the floor with the Loft Tackle Store.
Get the assist from the team in service.
Drive the paint with the parts team.
Shoot the lights out with the sales team.
It's a slam dunk with Bucks Island. Go get them and run them out your gym.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I-AM-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, we see our community as extended family.
Hello, I'm Mark Box. My wife Holly and I would like to thank the families that we have had the honor to serve. We see our community as our extended family. That's why we work so hard to invest in our community and the families that call it home. At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, you'll find services that are tailored to meet your needs, whatever those may be.
Piedmont Cutoff Highway in Glencoe and Highway 431 in Anniston. Our family serving your family.
At halftime, it is Gaston trailing Sardis 29-23. Both teams out of the locker room, including Gaston head coach Michael Merriman with our very own Jim Jacobs.
Thank you, James. Down here on the floor with Coach Merriman. Coach, you got the start you wanted with a 9-0 run to kind of kick things off, but then they seemed to kind of find themselves.
Yeah, well, we helped them out a little bit, not being strong with the ball. You know, in a game like this, you're not going to get a whole lot, so you got to go in there and be a grown man, so we got to do a better job at that.
Your message to your team at the break?
Be strong. I mean, you know, we're Gaston. We ain't, you know, you're going to have to go in there and fight for every little thing that you get. So you're going to have to be strong with the ball, make your own luck, quit whining about stuff, and find a way to get over it.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
And there you hear from Coach Merriman, really wanted to see some physical and mental toughness out of his team in the second half as Jim's making his way over to Sardis head coach Van Owens.
Jump in here with Coach Owens. Coach, obviously you said that you hadn't played in 7 days, and it kind of showed up at the start of the game, but then your team seemed to find themselves.
Yeah, we were a little shaky there at the beginning. Called a timeout, tried to settle them down a little bit. We played a little better. We still got a lot of things to clean up. Got a little foul trouble we'll have to watch, but playing better.
It looked like you kind of came off defense to find your way back into the game, really got after them and just shut down passing lanes and made everything difficult.
Yeah, we're trying to. Like I told you at the beginning, they got a lot of guys that can score it in a lot of different ways, so it's hard to cover everything, but we're trying to, and paid off a little bit there, made a little run, got ahead right now. Let's see if we can hold on to it.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you to both coaches for visiting with us prior to the start of the second half. Looking at the scoring totals in the first half, as for Gaston, they were led by 9 points each from Devin Green and Peyton Morrison. As Micah Merriman, normally their leading scorer for Gaston only with 4, and then a free throw for Cody Bogle. And for Sardis, they were led by 8 points from Kaysen Moore, also 7 off the bench from Lucas Montgomery. And close behind him were Connor Lowry and Luke Martin with 6 and 5 respectively. A couple from Carson Gilliland and a free throw from Eli Morton. Still, very much in striking distance as far as Gaston is concerned, but when you look at what Sardis has been able to do, obviously a strong second quarter, 18 second quarter points, but when you really look, Jim, at why they're at least enjoying a 6-point lead going into the third quarter, you look at the job defensively that they're doing on Micah Merriman. They've held him to 4 points, including just 1 field goal in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely, and doing just a really great job shutting down their top scorer. You know, the first 4 minutes here, James, going to be critical for Gaston. They're going to have a good, solid start to this second half, or you're going to see Sardis kind of pull away and make this a double-digit lead. Right now it's 29-23. It's, 6 points? This thing gets up into 12, 13 points. It's going to be a tough fight back for Gaston.
Yeah, and we're just about ready to begin this second half as Gaston out of their team huddle, as they're at the bench off to our right. And for the designated home team, Sardis, they're in the white tops and bottoms, occupying the bench on the left side of the floor. There's Micah Merriman. Struggled in the first half offensively.
If you listen to Coach Merriman, he obviously wants his team to get more physical.
I think it probably wouldn't hurt them if they can get in transition more offensively as well. There's Morrison down into Green, turns in the paint, goes in against two defenders, and he'll go to the free throw line. As I think Carson Gilliland got him on the backside.
Good job there, though, getting it inside to Green in the paint. He turns around, gets toward the rim, and draws a foul. And I think that's a good opening possession there for Gaston, provided he can knock down some free throws here.
Eli Morton actually gets whistled for his third personal foul as Green to the line and makes the free throw. So Devin Green, the first player for either team in double figures, the junior low post player, a guard, but has been playing more forward so far this evening. Lucas Montgomery checks back in due to foul trouble for Eli Morton as one more free throw to go for Devin Green. Free throw up and free throw good. So Green with 11. Down to a 4-point lead for Sardis as they'll walk it up the floor. More Lowry along with Montgomery as Gilliland receives the backdoor pass but misses the chippy as Green with the rebound. Adonis Jones in the backcourt as knocking it away out of bounds is Carson Gilliland for Sardis. Just underway here in the third quarter, as it's been as much as a 9-point lead for Gaston early on and as much as an 8-point lead for Sardis. Jones across the timeline against the man-to-man D for the Sardis Lions. Micah Merriman dribbles, hands off to Morrison, kicks out to Jones. Back over to Merriman. Merriman quiet so far, so he'll shoot from the free throw line and score.
Yeah, they need him to get going.
Well, you just know it's a matter of time for Micah Merriman. He just needs the one shot like we saw, maybe another, to really get his rhythm going. 2-point advantage for Sardis, as here's an NBA three that's in the hole for Luke Martin.
That's just unbelievable.
No hesitation on this shot. Well beyond NBA range as Martin rattles it home. Back to a 5-point advantage as trying to drive was Micah Merriman as he gets held on his way to the basket by Connor Lowry.
Coach Owens talked about it with me at the break, James. They're concerned about their foul trouble.
Well, Lowry now up to 2. You have Morton with 3 and also Luke Martin with a couple. Micah Merriman receives the inbounds pass as he'll go up against the man-to-man D from Connor Lowry. Bogle and Green with the picks for Merriman as Morrison thought about the NBA three. Backs it out to the Hokes Bluff logo. About a couple minutes played here in the third quarter. Merriman surveys the D. Goes up against tight defense from Sardis. Merriman picks up the dribble to Green. Jones, so far scoreless with the ball. Merriman dribbles. Morrison looks over to D to Green. Green back to Morrison. Open. 3 ball. No good off the side rim, but the rebound to Bogle for Gaston. Jones sizes it up and misses everything on the 3 as the rebound goes to Connor Lowry for Sardis. Pass deflected and the steal, and looks as if a foul in the open court goes on Sardis. A needless foul that time. About halfway to the basket off to our right, and so that's going to be foul number 3 on Sardis and personal number 3 on Luke Martin. So foul trouble becoming an issue now for Sardis as Luke Martin has to check out of the game. Still 5:33 to go in the third quarter, and this is a big window of opportunity now for Gaston to try and battle back in at down 5. Jones between the circles, high post to Green. Wants to find a little bit of help.
Oh, look out.
As he holds onto the ball to Morrison. Morrison backs in the paint, lays it up, no. Rebound goes to Bogle. Bogle over to Adonis Jones. Jones on the dribble. Finds Green at the near wing. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Gaston showing some patience in the half court against the man-to-man from Sardis as Merriman gets blocked on the pull-up. Out ahead of the defense, here's the layup in for 2 for Kaysen Moore. Moore in double figures as he has his first field goal here in the second half. He has 10 for the game.
Boy, big trip right here for Gaston. They need a bucket.
Yeah, this is indeed a huge trip as Jones looks over the D as Green at the high post. Little UCLA high post action for Gaston as the pass, a kick out for Bogle as he loses it out of bounds off of Gaston. Bogle tried to go down the baseline, but it was deflected off of good defense with the hands that time by Andrew Felter, who knocked it off of Bogle out of bounds.
Live ball turnover for the Bulldogs. Not what they needed.
About halfway through the third quarter as Montgomery goes in, loses it, gets it back, and misses the layup. Devin Green has played a great ball game so far for Gaston as the Bulldogs have possession. Merriman at the free throw line. Tries to go against two defenders and banks it in for two. Micah Merriman with just 4 in the first half. He now has 4 here in the third quarter, 8 in total tonight. Gaston just trying to hang around in this ball game as they're down 5 against the top seed here in the Etowah County tournament. Moore looks over the D. Goes in against Jones, and he'll go to the free throw line. As I thought Jones might have gotten a clean block, but the official at the baseline says there was a little bit of contact.
Yeah, I think he got him on his arm, shooting arm.
So it will be Adonis Jones on the foul, his second. And that's just the first foul of the third quarter for Gaston. As the first of 2 good for Kason Moore. Moore a solid game offensively as he has 11. One of 8 seniors for the Sardis Lions as the free throw no and the rebound to Green. Gaston in transition. Here's Morrison. Thought about the 3. Micah Merriman hounded all night by really a switching defense by Sardis this evening. Merriman thought about the 3, dumps it down to Green. He's triple teamed out to Merriman. Tries the 3 ball and misses as the rebound on good position on the box out by Lucas Montgomery.
Yeah, you can't think about it, James. If you want it, you got to pull the trigger.
Kason Moore on the drive, turns, fakes, kicks out. Felter, good ball fake, shoots from the free throw line, no, as the rebound goes to Bogle for Gaston, and we'll have a reach-in foul. Really a needless reach-in that time for Carson Gilliland. A little bit of physical play that time as Carson Gilliland commits his first personal. 14 fouls here in the third quarter, so at the next foul, it'll be free throws for the rest of the quarter for Gaston. So I think we know what the strategy for the Gaston Bulldogs will be for the final 2:33 of this third quarter.
Yeah, see if you can pick up some fouls, get the ball down inside, and be physical.
Micah Merriman on the dribble. Tries to go in. Great defense by Connor Lowry as he forces Micah Merriman to go back to the timeline.
Yeah, he just won't let him use his left hand.
There's Peyton Morrison. Has to retreat on defense. Connor Lowry playing great on defense tonight as Green stops, tied up, and will have a jump ball, and possession arrow goes to Sardis. Great defensive set that time by Sardis as they really never let Gaston get in the flow of their half-court offense. Micah Merriman was hounded all throughout that possession as 2 substitutions coming back in, including Eli Morton with 3 personals. And also the same for Luke Martin, who has 3 fouls. There you see our good friends at Perez Flooring and More. As you see the number on the left-hand side of your screen. On the drive, we'll have a whistle on the way to the basket. A foul on the floor goes on Gaston. That'll be just the second team foul for Gaston and Micah Merriman on his second. So really not much in the way of foul trouble right now for Gaston individually. As we're under 2 minutes to go in the third as that pass goes out of bounds by Luke Martin. Intended for Connor Lowry as Lowry tried to float, or at least floated rather, toward the corner as that pass stayed around the wing.
Zig and a zag.
Indeed. 1:40 to go in the third quarter. Adonis Jones handles the point for Gaston. A tight man-to-man defense for Sardis once again as Morrison quiet so far in the third quarter as Merriman on the drive kicks out to Green. Nothing doing on the drive so far, at least the last few possessions for Gaston as Jones open for the three. That's short, no good as the rebound stays with Gaston as Bogle picks it up and will have a whistle and a timeout called for by Michael Merriman for Gaston. So that'll be the timeout, as I believe that should be a full timeout, and it is indeed, and we'll take the timeout with them here at the Etowah County Basketball Tournament on FNN.
Does the crawl space in your home look like this? Standing water and high humidity are the perfect makings for mold and wood rot, and that means expensive damages to your home. Solve the problem with a call to the experts at S&H Waterproofing and Construction. They've been turning this into this for over a quarter century. Protect your greatest investment with a free assessment today. Get quality work at a guaranteed lower price. S&H Waterproofing and Construction.
Sardis 35 and Gaston 29 as Sardis has played outstanding so far defensively. As after about the 6.5-minute mark of the first quarter, Sardis has only allowed 20 points since that time to Gaston. And that's a Gaston team scoring 57 points per ball game in their prior 21. 1 minute to go in the third quarter as Gaston with the basketball. Jones drives hard, shoots and misses as the rebound to Carson Gilliland for Sardis. Up ahead, Eli Morton behind the D, loses possession and turns it over. And we'll have a whistle and looks as if a foul on the play. So they'll call the foul on, and I think it'll be on Eli Morton. So that's a big foul, Jim, for Sardis, as that is his fourth.
So he'll get to watch for a little while.
Indeed, and that'll be the fifth team foul as well for Sardis. So they'll walk the ball all the way to the other end for 2 free throws. So I think it's Adonis Jones that's going to the free throw line, but we'll find out here in a moment. So this is a big couple of free throws coming up for Gaston to try and scratch and claw their way, at least to knock that 6-point deficit down to 4. So it'll be Cody Bogle to the free throw line, the junior. 1 of 2 from the line tonight and sinks his second free throw. 2 of 3 so far tonight from the free throw line. Both of his points from the charity stripe for the junior forward. Second free throw up and good. So Bogle cashes in a couple free throws. Full court pressure for Gaston. Good handle so far as Martin behind the D to Lowry for 3. That's no good, and the rebound knocked away out of bounds off of Sardis. So Gaston will have the basketball with 33.7 seconds to go as they can cut this deficit down to 1 possession. Merriman walks it up the floor. Now Gaston can hold for the final shot here in this third quarter as hounding defense for Lowry as Merriman needs a bit of help.
You'll get some 5-second call.
Well, no 5 seconds so far as Merriman will have, looks like indeed the 5-second call is Micah Merriman protesting the call. Merriman thought that he had gotten away just enough to trigger a new 5.
I thought it should have been called before it was.
So here's a good wraparound pass as Gilliland cuts to the basket and makes the layup for 2 to end the third quarter.
That is a huge 15-second swing right there.
So Carson Gilliland, his second field goal, sends us to the fourth quarter with Sardis up 37-31. This is the Etowah County Basketball Tournament semifinals on FNN.
It's tip-off time, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
run the floor with the Loft Tackle Store.
Get the assist from the team in service.
Drive the paint with the parts team.
Shoot the lights out with the sales team.
It's a slam dunk with Bucks Island. Go get them and run them out your gym.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, we see our community as extended family.
Hello, I'm Mark Box. My wife Holly and I would like to thank the families that we have had the honor to serve. We see our community as our extended family. That's why we work so hard to invest in our community and the families that call it home. At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, you'll find services that are tailored to meet your needs, whatever those may be.
Piedmont Cutoff Highway in Glencoe and Highway 431 in Anniston. Our family serving your family.
Fourth quarter underway as they entry pass it to Devin Green, who will go to the free throw line right as we begin the fourth quarter here at Hokes Bluff.
Yeah, 7 minutes and 58 seconds to a championship.
James Hardy, Jim Jacobs with you as the foul goes on Carson Gilliland for Sardis. And there you see Devin Green, who's had a solid game with 11 points, to the free throw line. Rims out the first of two. His first missed free throw tonight, as he made his first three prior to that free throw attempt. One more coming. Had 9 of his 11 in the first half. Free throw no good as the rebound goes to Luke Martin for Sardis. So that's just like a turnover for Gaston, as Sardis wants to increase their lead to 8 or maybe 9. As there's the back cut and Moore misses, but he'll have a chance for a couple of free throws.
Yeah, big trip this time for the Lions. They can extend this lead to a 3-possession game.
Adonis Jones on his third personal foul. Free throws coming up for Kaysen Moore as he misses the free throw. Kaysen Moore leads the way for Sardis with 11. He can take the game-high lead if he makes the back end of this free throw for the senior guard.
Tell you what, defensively, he has been lights out.
I'll tell you what, so is Connor Lowry today as Moore makes 1 out of 2. Connor Lowry with 6, but his presence has more than been felt defensively tonight, holding Micah Merriman to 8. Peyton Morrison has the ball right now, however, for Gaston as Merriman dumps it down to Green. Green goes one-on-one against Gilliland, turns, forces it up, and travels before he can shoot the basketball. Carson Gilliland with great position down along the low block as he forced some awkward, at least footwork that time, from Devin Green. There you take a look at the fine folks from Sardis City up in the northwest part of Etowah County, as we'll have a couple of free throws coming up on the other end for Sardis.
And Sardis will be the host school for this tournament next year.
Sardis about that halfway point between Boaz and Etowah. Free throws up, and that falls off, no good for Kaysen Moore. So the second foul for Devin Green. As there you see Moore that's had at least a solid game. At least right now, even for Sardis, none of their standards offensively. As the free throw up and good. They come in averaging 67 a game and have only scored so far 39 tonight. So it's been a defensive struggle on both ends. As an 8-point advantage for the Sardis Lions, as Merriman really needs to get hot for Gaston if they want to fight back in this game.
They've just shut him down.
Merriman dumps it down as Green gets open, misses the layup as the rebound goes into the Gaston bench out of bounds off of Sardis. Still time, but 6:50 to go remain in this ball game. Winner goes on to championship Saturday tomorrow. The Southside Lady Panthers already in tomorrow's championship at 5 o'clock. As far as the girls varsity championship in this county tournament, Morrison to Green, extra pass to Jones. Jones on the drive. Can't get a shot off, so has to find Merriman. Micah Merriman with just a handful of field goals, 3 field goals and a couple of free throws tonight. Micah Merriman bounces it down low to Devin Green. Wants to go one-on-one, turns, goes right into Gilliland, who swats it away. Great defense by Carson Gilliland as he stood his ground and had the verticality in favor of him. Here's Lowry for 3. That's off, no good. Kaysen Moore was there for the rebound. He'll try the three and score.
Boy, he's just been an assassin tonight.
Kaysen Moore just retreats to the three-point line and buries the three to put Sardis up by double digits. Danger zone for Gaston as Merriman in the paint. Leaves it off, and Bogle gets his first field goal. And Michael Merriman, head coach, wants to call the timeout. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here as Gaston got off to a hot start in the first quarter as they led 9-0 in the first three minutes and change of the first quarter. They led by 2 after 1, but really Sardis got the momentum going late in the first quarter, and they've had the control of this ball game really ever since that point.
Pretty much. I mean, and their defense is what's done it for them. Defensively, they have just been lights out good.
And there you see Gaston with just 33 points tonight. 9 of those points came in, as we mentioned, the first 3.5 minutes or so. And then Sardis really hasn't been tearing the cover off the basketball themselves offensively, but they've really done a number defensively, as Jim's pointed out, all night long. Just 10 points allowed, at least to Gaston in the second quarter, and just 8 in the third quarter.
2 of our 4 games today, guys.
So 2 more, however, to come, including our final girls varsity semi next, as the layup down at least the right side of the lane, good for Kaysen Moore, as he's up to 18 points.
And Sardis is up to a double-digit lead.
Yeah, back up to 11 as nearly a pickpocket for Kaysen Lowry as he'll commit the reach-in. Lowry, his third personal foul, and just the second team foul in this fourth quarter for Gaston. 5 minutes and change to go in this semifinal round game at the Etowah County Basketball Tournament. Merriman on the dribble, loses it, and will have a late whistle and a foul. It will be 2 free throws coming up for Micah Merriman. So team foul number 3 in the fourth quarter, and also the third personal foul for Carson Gilliland. Following the conclusion of this game, it'll be the Sardis girls varsity squad taking on the Glencoe Lady Yellow Jackets for the final semifinal game on the girls' side next.
Going to be a little bit of a break in all of that, though, because they've got all county awards for football they're going to do between the 2 games. So we'll be off for just a little while and then back on with the second girls semifinal, which should be a good one.
Micah Merriman hits the first and also the second. So Merriman really has had to work for his 10 points tonight, as almost half of them have been from the free throw line. Bozarth back in the ball game for Sardis, received the inbounds pass as Gaston with some full court pressure. And there's good hands by Green as he gets the steal. Up ahead, Morrison spots up for the triple. Got it.
Boy, that's just a great possession there. Turned the ball over, spotted his teammate up, knocked down the 3 on the high wing.
Some more full court pressure as Moore misses the 3 and Green comes in for the board. Merriman might have been bumped, no whistle, however, as play continues. Merriman in the lane, lays it up and misses it uncontested as the rebound goes to Sardis. That's a missed opportunity for Micah Merriman that normally he catches in on, as Sardis wants to slow things down. Here's Martin for 3. That's no good as Morrison comes in for the rebound. Morrison trots across the timeline. Deflected pass, and that's stolen by Gilliland. Up ahead, Moore lays it up. That's too strong as the rebound to Micah Merriman. Pass up ahead is Morrison, all alone for the 3. Got it. Peyton Morrison heating up as
Watch that pass, James.
Morrison heats up as he has 15 points, all from the three-point line on 5 triples, as all of a sudden now it is a 3-point advantage for Sardis.
Timeout on the floor. It looks like it's going to be a full, so we will take it with them. We'll be back for the finish here on FNN.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Does the crawl space in your home look like this? Standing water and high humidity are the perfect makings for mold and wood rot, and that means expensive damages to your home. Solve the problem with a call to the experts at S&H Waterproofing and Construction. They've been turning this into this for over a quarter century. Protect your greatest investment with a free assessment today. Get quality work at a guaranteed lower price. S&H Waterproofing and Construction.
Under 4 to go as Sardis only up 4 as Gaston clawing back from an 8-point deficit as Gilliland rescues the possession that time as Gaston nearly gets the steal with their full court pressure. Here's Moore to Martin on the drive, floats it up there and scores. That's a big basket for Luke Martin as he's in double figures, but more importantly puts Sardis up by 2 scores. Still plenty of time, however, as Micah Merriman tries to create separation as he gets in the paint. Needs help and loses the basketball and turns it over to Kason Moore.
Boy, if there's a defensive MVP for this game, got Moore's name all over it.
Also throw in Connor Lowry as far as just how tight they've played Merriman tonight. There's a bump along the baseline and a foul for Gaston. So that's just going to be the 3rd team foul of this 4th quarter, and it'll be personal number 1 on Peyton Morrison. So Bozarth checks out. Eli Morton with 4 fouls back in for Sardis as he gets the inbound, shoots, and gets the roll in the paint.
That was too easy.
That's the first field goal for Eli Morton as the lead back up to 3 possessions now for Sardis. Merriman has the ball at the timeline. Time starting to become a factor now for Gaston as Merriman tries to drive in. Morrison works off the screen. He dribbles in, lays it up, and in for 2. Morrison with his first 2-point bucket as the ball goes out of bounds off the inbounds. And so it'll be Sardis retaining possession. A 5-point cushion for the Sardis Lions as Moore across the timeline against a little bit of a trap. There's a trap deflected, but a 3 for Martin, up and good.
Goodness gracious.
I thought that might have been an ill-advised 3 that time, but disaster turns into fortune for an NBA 3 for Luke Martin. And there you see he could not resist that open look at the 3 as that extends the lead up to 8 for Sardis on a 30-second timeout. 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go in this ball game as Gaston has at least had their moments here in the 4th quarter offensively when they've been able to get in transition, but really the story of this ball game has just been how effective and how consistent Sardis has been defensively.
Sardis doing just a great job. I mean, when Gaston doesn't get the ball in transition and Sardis gets a chance to D up on them, it makes it twice as tough on the Bulldogs to even try to get a shot.
And you got to figure, Jim, this is a must-score possession for Gaston coming up. They're down 8, 2 minutes and change to go, and not a lot of possessions left in this game. So Adonis Jones back in as he'll walk it up the floor, approaching the 2-minute mark in the 4th quarter. Green with great position as he'll go to the free throw line as Carson Gilliland thought he got all ball. Gilliland now with 4 personal fouls as that'll be the team's 4th for Sardis. Devin Green had a hot start to this ball game with 9 in the first half, but only a couple of free throws here in the second half. Free throw up, and that rolls in. touched every bit of rim that you could possibly connect on for Devin Green, as he has a dozen. One more to come. A make would make this a 6-point lead and a 2-possession game for Sardis. Free throw up, that's short, no good, as the rebound knocked away, but stays with Sardis. Carson Gilliland almost lost it out of bounds, as we're under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Lowry out to Martin. He wants another three. He misses this time, but the rebound tracked down by Kaysen Moore. Morton goes in, dumps it down to Gilliland, shoots, and scores. Carson Gilliland, his third field goal. 90 seconds to go as time running out for the Gaston Bulldogs as Merriman open for the three. That's no good as the rebound goes to Sardis.
Yeah, that last trip for Sardis might have been the dagger, James.
Yeah, the window closing fastly now for Sardis, or rather for Gaston, as the pass goes out of bounds off of Sardis. The trap forces the turnover that time as Gaston gets a free possession, as they desperately need a basket here. Adonis Jones inbounds to Merriman. Merriman with just 3 field goals tonight. Has 10 points, but he's had to work hard just to get to double figures as Morrison works off the screen. Turns in the paint, tries to leave it off for Green as it goes out of bounds off of Green. So turnover for Gaston, as the Sardis Lions likely can put this one away at the free throw line or in transition as Morton goes in and he'll have a chance for 2 free throws. Almost got the chance at the end. One is Micah Merriman on the foul, his third. So free throws coming up really the rest of the way for both teams, as that was the 4th team foul for Gaston. So Eli Morton, who's been in foul trouble the entire night with 3, misses the first of 2. Still advantage for Sardis, as they've been outstanding defensively, and really their defense has paved the way for this victory so far tonight. Or at least on their way to a victory, I should say, as both free throws no good, and Peyton Morrison on the rebound. Picks up the dribble, but Micah Merriman there to recover. Approaching 40 seconds as Merriman misses the 3, and the rebound goes to Luke Martin. That probably should do it, as the foul in the backcourt goes on Gaston. Likely on Micah Merriman. And that would be his 3rd personal, or check that, 4th personal foul. Either case, it'll be free throws coming up now for the Sardis Lions off to our left. So to the free throw line will be Kaysen Moore as he rims out the first free throw. Moore, a solid outing offensively with 18, but he, along with Connor Lowry, really did the job in shutting down Micah Merriman tonight. Free throw good, as Moore likely finishes tonight with 19. A near steal for Sardis that time on the inbounds as we go under 30 seconds to go. Peyton Morrison gets his pocket picked by Kaysen Moore as he'll just dribble the basketball. And Sardis can just dribble out the clock.
Yep, that's going to do it.
And so it'll be Sardis facing either Glencoe or Hokes Bluff tomorrow, sometime around 7:15 or so, for the Etowah County Tournament Championship on the boys' side. As we count down the final seconds, your final score is Sardis 54 and Gaston 44. We'll take this time out and begin our postgame after this, as you're watching the Etowah County Basketball Tournament on FNN.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds. And you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Back from Hokes Bluff High School as your final Sardis 54 and Gaston 44, as we'll send it down to our very own Jim Jacobs with Sardis head coach Van Owens.
Let's start with Coach Owens. Coach, defensively, A+.
Yeah, I was proud of our defensive effort tonight. We struggled a little bit offensively, but I kind of expect that when you've been off for a full week, hadn't played. But we got enough to, hold on and win it against a very good Gaston team. They've got a great team and a great coach. Total respect to them and a great game.
Talk a little bit about what you've got to do between now and tomorrow night to get your guys ready to play for a championship.
Well, I'm going to hang around and see who wins this next one. I know it's going to be a good game, too, between Glencoe and Hokes Bluff. And then, we've played Hokes Bluff earlier in the year, so we know a little bit about them. We haven't played Glencoe, so we're going to learn a little bit tonight. Try to get some, watch some film, get our game plan together, show it to our guys tomorrow before we leave.
Talk a little bit about these two guys here behind me in the game they had tonight.
Well, their defensive effort, both of them, was outstanding. They did a good job on some of Gaston's best players, limiting them as much as we could. You're never going to stop great players like that, but they limited them enough, for us to hang on and win. And then they control the ball for us and get us into our offense and knock down shots for us on offense. So couldn't do it without these guys. I love them and appreciate them.
All right, let me talk to them just a minute. Congratulations on the win.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, guys, jump on in here. I believe it's, James, correct me if I'm wrong, 19 points for this young man?
You got it, Jim.
19 points. What a game.
Thank you. I was just going out here and do what the team needed to do. When he got here, we were having a rough game from the start, but we just played as a team. They got me good looks. It wasn't just me. They got me good looks, and we executed, got the win.
Talk a little bit about the defensive turnaround that you guys kind of poured on them after the 9-0 run they got to start the game.
We didn't let it get to us. We caught, it was a timeout. We talked about things. We knew keep our heads straight. We just came down to executing, got us a win.
You got a preference for tomorrow night, Hokes Bluff or Glencoe?
It don't matter. We just need to get our get back after we lost last year.
I hear you. All right, congratulations, young man, on a great game. Let me jump in here with you. Man, you were like chewing gum on those guys tonight.
Yeah, I go out there and give it everything I got. I just want to win.
Well, defensively, you played like a winner for sure. Talk a little bit about the effort that it took to really man up like that the whole game.
Oh, yeah, they're a really good team. 12's a bucket. We had to limit him, and the team just came and we did what we had to do.
And then, of course, didn't hesitate to pull the trigger on the threes when they were there.
If I'm open, I'm going to shoot it.
Congratulations on a big win, and we'll see you tomorrow night for the championship.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim, as we heard from Coach Van Owens as well as Connor Lowry and Kaysen Moore, as we'll take a look at some early highlights here to start off the game. A 9-0 run for Gaston, as you saw Devin Green make the layup and eventually cash in on the three-point play, as there's one of Peyton Morrison's 5 threes. The first one and the second one here in transition is really after that, Gaston struggled offensively for the rest of the night, as this offensively from Luke Martin from Steph Curry range really helped to put a shot in the arm for Sardis, as there's the three at the end of the first quarter by Kaysen Moore, who had a game-high 19. And then Lucas Montgomery in the second quarter, a big factor as well, as he had 7 in that second quarter off the bench. Connor Lowry drilling one of his 2 threes on the night, but he got more than got the job done defensively, as Peyton Morrison finished the game with the team-high 17 for Gaston with that 3. And later on, another NBA range 3 for Luke Martin, as it was just a defensive clinic really tonight for Sardis, as there's a 3 by Kaysen Moore. And then Morrison helped lead another rally for Gaston to help them cut the lead to 3.
Yeah, kind of thought they were going to make a little run there and get back in it, James, but Sardis just did a great job defensively to shut things down, and then, like you see there, just knocked down the big shots when they needed to.
Yeah, some key shots at key moments as well, as it results in a 54-44 win for Sardis, as Sardis advances to tomorrow's championship round, where they will face either Glencoe or the host squad in Hokes Bluff. Speaking of Hokes Bluff, they'll be taking on Sardis as far as our next game and final girls varsity semifinal game coming up here in just a moment. So once again, our final score this afternoon: Sardis 54 and Gaston 44. So we'll step aside for a few minutes, and we'll be back with you for Sardis and Glencoe for girls varsity semifinal action here at the Etowah County Tournament.
Has been an exclusive sports production of FNN, the Friday Night Network.